brand new Hyundai. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
What if you went to your secret hiding place and found this? All drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, know that you can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
Well, it is time for Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Eisner Amper. Jalen Brunson is the second player in Knicks history with 2,000 points and 500 assists in a season, joining Richie Guerin in 1961-62. Pretty impressive. That's Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Eisner Amper, a leading business advisory firm helping clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. Make Eisner Amper part of your solution. Learn more at eisneramper.com/solution. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go back to the calls. Joe in Somers. Joe.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Good, what's up?
Got a few points. One, just about the show in general. Then I have an Ohtani point. And then finally, I have a wrestling point. But just about the show in general, I did an informal kind of Twitter poll as to what people thought of each of your contributions to the success of the show. And 234 people responded. And overall, they think, 60% of the success is Don, and the remaining 40% was kind of split between Peter and Michael. And just want to get your thoughts about that and what you guys think personally about that.
Couldn't agree more. Don is the driving force. I believe I'm more important than Peter, but, it sounds right.
Well, but then we got a lot of... But that's Michael's, kidding on the square, as they say, Dom. But if that's the case, then we need to talk salaries, name of show. A lot of things need to change.
Yeah, I don't think that 200 some odd people are going to really change that. But please go on. Oh, is he gone?
He's gone. He had a whole bunch. He had a
points?
laundry list of things.
He had a laundry list of points.
I didn't hang up on him.
Was that Jacobs?
Somebody back in the studio did.
Jacob's got a hair trigger. You know this.
He does.
And he's got a bad temper, too.
Unless it comes to playing the "you got that dog in him" drop, because I set him up for that about 19 times in the last segment. He did not want to give it to me.
Let's go to...
I was like, hey, you got that dog in him. That dog.
Yeah, but you also have to know where to do stuff like that. You completely discombobulated Spike.
Yeah, that was a bad move by you.
It's just, you got to know who to do it to.
No, I felt terrible for the guy.
He didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
He bounced right back.
Yeah, but there was a stutter and a stammer. I mean, you're ruining the flow when you do stuff like that with certain people.
When I said it, I had regret, so I'm not going to fight you. You're right.
Evan in Woodbridge. What's up, Evan?
Michael, Don, Peter, what's going on? I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm admittedly not a Yankees fan.
Okay.
I listened to the podcast the next day, and I just got up to the part where Michael described Juan Soto working walks as, and this is a direct quote, scintillating. And Don, Peter, I don't know how you sat there and looked him in the face as he said that. I mean, working a walk, come on, that's ridiculous. Hitting a home run, that's one thing, but working a walk.
But you take it from where it comes. This is a guy that didn't realize women were alive because he was knee-deep in box scores till he was 16, 17 years old. It makes sense for Michael to say
That's a great point.
But Evan, you're not a Yankee fan, right? Have you watched him work his walks? I mean, it's scintillating. I get goosebumps.
That's a you problem.
Well, you know what? It's me appreciating the inner workings of baseball. That's what it is.
Well, you know what though? Listen, it's a strange take by Michael. But you could also find other sports talk hosts in this town who pretend and start screaming that Soto should already people should be breathing down his neck because he's taking too many walks. So I'd rather go with Michael, who's a baseball nerd who finds the joy in a walk, than someone being a performative Looney Tune and pretending like the guy's not playing great baseball just so people click on your little video. So I'm going to go with Michael.
Well, starting fights with people now, huh?
That's not starting a fight. I'm just saying, don't leave me on an island here. It's a ridiculous take, and you're doing it as a joke. If you're pretending he's anything but great.
I was wondering about that, right? And I've seen a lot of people say, "Why would you?" Say, even people in baseball answering, it's getting the attention he wants, and since does get the attention he wants, and we're in the get attention business, well, what's he doing wrong?
I mean, listen, it's just it's a philosophy, right? I'd rather say things that you can actually believe and hold on to and defend, not just be that guy. Like, no one gets embarrassed in sports talk radio when you're overtly being that guy.
I don't think that is. In this day and age, in 2024, I think embarrassment is out the window.
Well, that's what I love about our show. I love that when Don rants, every single thing Don's ever ranted about, you could go back and see what it was, and he would defend the point to this day. To the idea of acting as if you're really mad at Juan Soto 13 games into this magnificent season where he's been brilliant, you're just being silly and embarrassing yourself and being that guy. That's all.
And then the answer would be, well, how's it working out?
I don't know. Their answer is I don't know.
I'm not in his back pocket. I don't know.
Yeah, I had never been to his house, but I'll say this. It worked out decently for Tiger today. Sorry, Michael. He's making the cut. Finishes even for the day, 1 over through 2. He had to, I don't know, you have a sponsor for this, Michael, since I just ran right into its scoreboard update? Tiger had a rough morning because he had to come back and finish round 1 early. It was cold and windy. But then he came back out, 10:45, played even for the day, and he's 8 strokes off to Shambo, who's still 7 under through 12 in the second round. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say no. No, I wouldn't go as far as saying no chance, but I'd say we talked about the cut. He makes the cut yet again. His walk back right now looks a little bit labored. Like, you can see the hitch Tiger has.
Yeah, there's a patch on his back, and he was putting icy hot on it during the round.
Yeah, it's tough for him, man. The walking around for him is just tough. The cut line's 4 over. He finishes the second round 1 over par.
Oh, good. That makes your weekend. We have Doc Gooden, who's going to have a great weekend. He's coming on in just a moment. Doc's going to have his number 16 retired at Citi Field on Sunday. Please tune in. We talk to our good friend Dwight Gooden in just a moment. But first, Peter's going to tell you about Bath Fitness.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Playing in Yankee Stadium is the best thing that could ever happen to a ball player.
It's a huge honor to put this uniform on.
World champions, team of the decade.
There it goes!
The Yankees are back on top.
This is the Yankees being the Yankees.
Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
When I was really little, I don't know why, but I wanted to be a pastor. When I was like a small child,
I wanted to be a celebrity by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
These players are playing for a lot of money today.
I'm only here for 2 feet. I don't really care about any other place.
Can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
Listen up, Nets World. Get into the action and lock in a 2024-25 Nets level membership. Members have it all, from exclusive events and behind-the-scenes access to discounts across merch and tickets. Not to mention the ticket flexibility in the first place, with round-the-clock management and seamless transfer to your squad. This is Brooklyn, and it's yours. Become a member today.
New season, new reasons to say yes.
This is star power.
Wow.
Dials it up. What a home run for Soto. Aaron Judge crushes one.
Get all the Yankees action. The Yes app.
Now, well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% APR financing on 2024 Acura models.
At Manchester City Football School, both boys and girls can train and develop at a world-class facility.
This course helped me develop my football skills a lot.
I have enjoyed learning to play like an actual Manchester City player.
Field number 16 will rise to the top of Citi Field and will never be worn by a Met again as Doc Gooden's number is retired. And that leads us to Diamond Notes brought to you by London Jewelers, and it also leads us to talk to our friend who I know watches the show, and now he's a guest, and that is Dwight Gooden. Doc, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. Congratulations. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you, guys. And I am a fan of the show, and I always watch you guys' show. And first of all, before we get started, I have to say thank you to you guys, because you guys have been campaigning for me for a couple of years now, and I think you guys played a big part. I just want to say thank you. I remember being on here last year before they announced they was going to retire my jersey. We had the same conversation about it, and I was saying that I didn't deserve a life sentence, and you guys were on my side, and I was come true. So I thank you guys. If I ever run for city council, I want you guys on my team.
That's so nice of you, Doc. Thank you, man.
All right, so are you nervous? I mean, you've pitched in World Series. You've thrown no-hitters. Are you nervous for Sunday?
I wouldn't say nervous. I'm excited because my kids, my grandkids get to take part in this. Obviously, I want my parents to be there, but they can't be there. But it's an opportunity for my grandkids, especially, who didn't get to see me play or know what I did for a living. They get to not really see me play, but experience what it was like to hear the cheers, to be on the same, well, not the same field I played on, but in the same atmosphere. I get a taste of what it was like when I played, when I was going through my prime. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to all the fans there that filmed me from day one, just to kind of thank them. I always wanted this opportunity to go back and see the fans since 1994, when the Mets only cut ties. Now I get the opportunity to go back to the fans and let them know how much I appreciated them through all my ups and downs.
And the reason it was so easy to go to bat for you, Doc, and I grew up a Met fan, and I lived through '84. So my fondest memories of sitting with my dad, watching you striking 14 Giants out, like, and you still resonate so many years later, and you really saw it through the documentary. You saw it through all of the history of looking back at '86. Did you, even though you didn't feel the love from the Mets, did you still feel the love from the Met fan?
100%. The fans were great. And even with the Mets, when they want to cut ties, I get it. I understand the business part of it. But for me, I was more so upset and hurt because of what I did, the things I caused to myself. And I wanted to make it right with the fans. But you're right, through the documentary and all that, and the fans, so many times where they could have turned their back on me, but they didn't. They always stuck by me. And especially when, I had my struggles off the field, and to see them support me. And that's what it's all about, because you're still dealing with a life here. And now I get the opportunity to thank them and share this moment with my family and my friends and all the fans that have been with me since day one.
Is it special? Is it even more special, Doc, that later on in the season, and people, it's you can't say Doc without Darryl, and you can't say Darryl without Doc, that Darryl, who's mending now from heart surgery, is it mean more because he's getting his number retired too?
It does. I'm just as happy for him as much as I am, well, just about as much as I am for myself. Because we've both been through basically the same thing. We had almost, that he was a hitter, I was a pitcher, almost similar careers, similar off-the-field struggles, and now both of us got our life together. And it's a celebration for both of us, and I think it's great that we're doing it on separate days. But I'm happy that it's the same year. I think he deserves it just as much as I do.
Doc, you just mentioned the things that you went through and taking accountability from the decisions that you made. So when you look back at your Met time, do you look back fondly at what you accomplished, or is there a part of you that looks back and says that there could have been more?
You know what? I think now I don't say it could have been more anymore. Besides, as a team, I think we left a championship on the table in '88. Not taking anything away from the Dodgers or the year that Hershiser had, but for my individual career, now that I'm getting my number retired, I'm happy with everything. I have closure now with my career. I don't think I left anything on the table. I just had struggles, and people talk about what could have been, what might have been if I didn't have those struggles. But my thing is, when I made it to the big leagues, when I made the roster in '84, my only goal I had was staying healthy and playing a long time. But during my 16 years career, I was able to win, 3 World Series. I won just about every award a pitcher can win, and now I'm being honored with one of the highest honors you can get from a team. So I have nothing to be ashamed of or look back on and say what could have been. Even though sometimes, like, when the Hall of Fame thing comes around, you think about that a little bit. I'll be lying to say I don't think about it. But at the same time, I don't beat myself up about it anymore. And I'm very happy and satisfied with where my career has turned out.
I know, Doc, that you've gotten a lot of love from both fan bases in this town, both you and Daryl, and that's very special. But I know that Mets fans sort of certainly want to claim you, but you get the World Series with the Yankees. Does this moment sort of in some way solidify you truly when it's all said and done as a Met, in spite of the fact that the championships came with the Yankees?
Well, he got one with the Mets, too.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, well, of course. But the last two came with the Yankees.
That's true. I'm very happy. I'm definitely a Met at heart. I've always been a Met at heart. But I'm very appreciative of what the Yankees done for me and what Mr. Steinbrenner did for me and my family. I remember the times he spent with my dad before he passed away at the hospital. Those things go unnoticed. And still today, I still go to Yankee Stadium. I'm still very proud to say I got to experience the time that I did, the old Yankee Stadium, where all the great players played and all the history was made. And there's great fans in the Bronx as well. And I appreciate those fans as well for always being loyal to me and supportive of me as well. So I'm just happy for the opportunity that I got to play for both teams and win a World Series for both teams. But when it's all said and done, I will always be a Met.
Well, Doc, you know that I'm a person who worries a lot. I get nervous. So if somebody said, okay, Michael, you're having a day in July, I would not leave my house until July. I wouldn't want to get run over by a car. Have you been very careful so that you know that on Sunday you're there at Citi Field and that nothing's going to happen, that you're not getting run over by a car?
I don't know, but you know what, Michael, to be honest with you, I've had breakfast with the devil before. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've been there. I know what pain looks like. I know what pain feels like. If I got through those days, I'm not afraid of the days ahead of me. As long as I take care of myself and put myself in a good position and do the things I'm supposed to do, I'll be fine. I'm not afraid of living my life anymore the right way. I'm in a good place now. I have good health. I have a good relationship with my kids and my grandkids. And I look forward to Sunday. I'm obviously careful with things, but I have to be careful with everything now, every day, because I'm not getting any younger, and because of, when you have an addiction problem, even if you're not active in it, it can creep up on you at any time to trigger you. So I got to be aware of it through good times and bad times. So I got to say even kill either way. But I've been enjoying the ride, the momentum that's built up to Sunday. Tonight I'm having dinner with some of my family, some friends, some of the 86 guys going to be there. At the Empire Steakhouse in the city, and tomorrow we're having a dinner with my family. Be up tomorrow, so I'm just enjoying the ride, man. And now that I'm not playing anymore, what I mean by this, what I'm getting ready to say is, when you're winning awards, winning World Series, you enjoy it, but you can't really soak it all in because it's next to the next team. You got to get ready for spring training. Now with this coming up, I can enjoy it just as much as my kids, my family, my friends. Let it all soak in, and even after Sunday, I can continue to enjoy this and enjoy the things that I've been able to do, and just be happy with myself for things and where I'm going.
Doc, 86 gets brought up all the time, but just take us back to 85. 24-4, 1.53 earned run average, 16 complete games, 268 strikeouts. What was it like to just be that dominant? What did it feel like to be that good for that year?
Oh, man, it was amazing. It was unbelievable. The thing is, I didn't realize that year was that special probably until after maybe the first 10 starts. Then you start realizing that the crowd's bigger. There's more media attention. You can see the tailgates in the parking lot. The hitters are more locked in. Everybody's locked in. It became more of a, not just a start, but like you say, a lot of people say it's an event or what have you. But and having Gary Carter as my catcher, he brought out the best in me. Gary wanted the 10 strikeouts. He wanted to shut out. He wanted a complete game. And he wouldn't settle for less. Because I remember some games, if I was up to nothing, Gary wanted me to pitch like it was 1-0. He still wanted me to dominate. And I accepted the challenge. I know the fans wanted that. Because every time I got 2 strikes on a batter, they were standing up clapping, wanting to see that. And I accepted the challenge. No disrespect to the other hitters or other teams. But once we scored a couple runs early, I wanted to be out on the mound every chance I got. Because it became bigger than just a game. And I enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I probably should have, because when you're going through it, you have expectations for yourself as well. And, you got to get ready for the next start and the next start and keep working. But now, this kind of reminds me of what 85 was like with the momentum building up to Sunday. Just maybe not exact amount, but just like last night, I was at an event, and the crowd was, a lot of Met fans, and the momentum of everybody's happy. You're seeing all the signs, all the logos, doing a lot of good press coverage. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of 85, but I'm able to enjoy it more now than I did, say, when I was going through the season in 85.
We're talking with our good friend Dwight Gooden here on the Michael Kay Show. He gets his number retired at Citi Field on Sunday. Now, you threw so hard, and obviously the curveball was like nothing that anybody's ever seen. And what we see now in baseball, Doc, is that so many pitchers are getting hurt, and you ended up hurting your arm as you went along as well. Is the body built to throw that hard that often, Doc?
That's a great question. I think, just my opinion now, like when I got hurt, I think the wear and tear kind of caught with me because I threw a lot in high school as well. And I just got to the point where I hit a wall. So if I had to do it over, I'll do it the same way. I think now what we're seeing is more concerned with velocity, more concerned with spin rate. And I don't think they teach the mechanics as much as they did when I was coming up and during my time in the 80s. And I think that's a problem. Even with the pitchers, they're doing like the half windup now. I don't think they're getting the full momentum as they possibly can out of the wind up and using their legs more. I think now it's just more throwing as opposed to pitching. And it's nothing against the pitchers. I think it's just the way the systems are now and the way the game's taught. I don't know if the analytics or the technology has a lot to do with it. But the game's changed so much where, say like a Greg Maddux or a Tom Glavine, they probably wouldn't even be looked at today because they didn't throw in the upper 90s. It's all about velocity and spin rate now. And I think guys are more concerned with that than working mechanics and working on developing, different pitches, different arm angles is not important. And I think that's why we're seeing more injuries now. But again, that's just my opinion.
Who do you like watching pitch now?
The guy that I like probably the most watch is on the shelf now. Garrett Cole is obviously my guy now that DeGrom is out of New York. I still love DeGrom, but DeGrom's a close second now. DeGrom was my guy, but he's out of New York now, so I got to stay the New York guys. So I would say Garrett Cole. Hope he gets healthy soon, and I can't wait to watch him throw.
Now, you bring up DeGrom, and this was a guy that knew, hey, I wasn't going to be going much past the sixth inning, so I'm just going to lay it all out on the line. If Doc Gooden had that philosophy, hey, I don't have to go deep into games. I can just go 5-6 innings. How would that look? How much more dominant do you think you'd be in the first 5 innings if you knew you didn't have to pitch beyond 5 or 6?
It's a totally different game, totally different build-up. You set up differently the way it goes. And I blame the system. I don't really blame the pitchers for that. I hope they get back to the old school ways where guys go deeper in games and they get rid of the 100-pitch thing and facing lineup only twice around. I think it'll work to the pitcher's advantage now, especially with mechanics. Different game, totally different game now. And I like the way it was when I played, to be honest with you, where you go deep in games. But if I had to do that now, I think it's been to my advantage, obviously. Obviously, would definitely save my arm. And I tell you who would have been real effective pitching today, not that they wasn't effective when I pitched, would be Sid Fernandez. Look at Sid Fernandez's stats, which I don't know off the top of my head. But Sid was a great 5-6 inning pitcher. But when you try to extend him to the 7th, 8th inning, it'd be maybe a walk, a blue singles, and a home run. Something crazy would happen after that. But if he only had to go 5-6 innings, I think Sid would probably win 20 games every year.
All right, here's the big question, Doc. Do you have your speech written, and do you think you're going to cry?
Wow. You're prepared with these questions. I don't know if I'm going to cry. I'm just going to let the emotions go where they go. I've thought about writing a speech, but I said, you know what? I'm just going to go from the heart. I've thought about what I'm going to say, obviously, the people I want to thank and show my appreciation. But I'm just going to go from my heart, whether it's a 3-minute or whether it's a 10 minutes. I don't know. But my emotions, it's really hard to say because I feed off the crowd a lot of times. It's almost going to be like pitching again and going out there and have my grandkids see me for the first time on the field in the atmosphere. I would say probably, but I'm not sure. If I do, it is what it is.
Absolutely. Let it flow. Don't hold it back if that's what you're feeling. Now,
the more you cry, the more they're going to love you.
Yeah, I mean, they love you anyway. How is your relationship with Steve Cohen and Mrs. Cohen?
Oh, it's awesome. I love those guys, and I can't thank them enough for awarding me with the highest honor that you could possibly get. They've been great with me. I think they've been great with the fans, great with the alumni, bringing us back. They brought the old-timers team back. And every time I've talked to Alex or Steve when I'm at the ballpark around, they've been nothing but first-class people. And I'm just happy to be a part of it and see that the team's now headed in the right direction. I think they have some good baseball people behind them. But I love these guys. I love what they're doing. I think now things are really starting to get turned around the right way for these guys. And I'm wishing nothing but the best for both of them. So I'm very, very thankful for what they're doing for me.
I'll tell you. Go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
Is there one game, one moment that stands out among all the others as your time with the Mets?
Wow. If I had to pick one game, wow, there's so many good ones. Can I take two?
Sure.
Okay, the first one would be in '84 from a personal standpoint, when I broke Herb Score's record. I struck out Marvell Wynn to break the rookie strikeout record. Because you only get to be a rookie once. And to break that record and making the team as a non-roster player, from an individual standpoint, I love that one. That sticks out more. From a team standpoint that I was involved with, I would say when we clinched against the Chicago Cubs at home and having the fans run on the field. I mean, it was fun and scary at the same time. I would say those two are my most memorable memories besides winning the World Series with the Mets.
Doc, I tell you what, I've known you forever, and I mean, I'm so thrilled because you sound so happy and you sound so into it, and I can't tell you enough how much all three of us are so happy for you for what's going to happen on Sunday. We wanted to come on and talk with you a little and just wish you sending you good vibes for Sunday. Have a wonderful time.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys, and I mean that from my heart. Thank you guys so much when you guys had me on and we talked about retiring the number, because I do think that played a part. So I really thank you guys, and always thank you for having me on, and look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
And let the tears flow, Doc. Let them flow. If you feel like crying, cry.
Yes, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to hold back. If they come, they come.
There you go. There you go.
Soak it in, Doc. Enjoy it, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks, my friend.
All right, I appreciate you guys.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
Those are Diamond Notes brought to you by London Jewelers. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the Americana Mall and the mall at Short Hills. I didn't just say that with him. I got to tell you, Don and Peter, he had such clarity. You know, Doc's been, as he said, he's had breakfast with the devil. He's been battling demons for a long time. He sounds so clear and happy, and that makes me happy as well.
And one of the reasons that we were advocates for him, not just because, Michael, we're fans of him as the person, or me as a fan of the Mets, is that don't you look at his problems differently now than you did back in the 80s? Like back in the 80s, you were a bad guy. You did drugs. What's the matter with you? You're a bad guy. You deserve what you get. And then you hear these stories what Doc and Darryl went through, or anybody that went through addiction, Steve Howe with the Yankees, and then you realize that it's a disease. It was something that he struggled with, and so you look at it differently than you do now. And the fact that he was so disconnected with the Mets because I think he was just labeled as a bad guy that threw his career away. And I guess the bottom line is he did. But how much of that is he responsible for? Some, clearly, and he's taken that responsibility. But I think we have better clarity now than we did 30, 40 years ago on exactly what he was going through and what addicts are going through, that they're not all bad guys. Not all the choices were the wrong choices. It just, there were things that happened, and for him to put it in the words that he did, breakfast with the devil, that's what some of these people were going through. And yes, there are bad guys, right, Peter? But then there are people that are good people that unfortunately made some bad choices early on, and their life went in a direction they just didn't want it to go into. And now we look at those people a little bit differently than I think we did 30, 40 years ago.
I'm just glad that he seems like he's got it together, and let him enjoy himself on Sunday. Really cool.
There were times, Michael, when we spoke to him. Remember the issues, and we talked about him a couple of times that we had him on, where like Strawberry reached out. There were times we spoke to him where he didn't seem like he was in a good place.
No, not at all. And there's times I saw him that he didn't look healthy, and I worried about him. But he sounds terrific today. So
yeah, and it's a constant, it's a daily battle, and maybe when it's all said and done, those will be the battles that he'll be best remembered for, as opposed to the ones on the baseball field.
Let's go to Kyle in Memphis. Kyle.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
First time caller.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. So I wanted to talk about the Ohtani thing and the original article with from Tisha Thompson, right? Yep. She said that his representatives knew about the article and that it was going to come out, and they found out in the beginning of the year. But they still allowed Ippei to be his interpreter? Why wouldn't they find someone else to interpret to Ohtani if they thought this guy was stealing so much money from him? That's just like,
Kyle, it's a great point. That's what's so frustrating about this. I don't know if you feel it. None of it makes perfect sense. The pieces don't fit together in the puzzle. They're the ones who made him available to Tisha Thompson. They're the ones who told him to tell the story. Then he told the story that Ohtani paid the debt for him, and then they find out later and they go, well, maybe we shouldn't have said. I mean, the people around Ohtani have to be held accountable, Kyle. They are. If Ohtani is totally innocent and not complicit in this at all, he's got to fire everybody around him. Everybody. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, 100%. I just don't understand why not find someone else to interpret to him if you think this guy is actually stealing $4 million from him. You think he's going to tell the truth to Ohtani? I mean, there's plenty of people that they could have found to interpret to this guy and tell him the actual truth.
Well, that does speak to this, though, Kyle, and we mentioned this earlier. It's unbelievable how close these guys were.
Yeah.
And if Don's scenario is accurate, they were that close that Ohtani was still willing to absorb the cost of this guy's gambling addiction. I'm not saying that that's the case. That's Don's scenario that he's painting that it could be. It was like they were connected at the hip. You never saw one without the other, except when Ohtani was in the batter's box or on the mound. And then when somebody came out to talk to Ohtani on the mound, there was Ippei as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was a really different kind of relationship that you don't see that often. You just don't. Very odd. Very odd. Let's go to Griffin in Connecticut. Griffin.
Griff. Oh, the Griffster. You kidding me?
Hey, I'm here. Yeah, Michael, the Ohtani thing is just so strange. I can't figure to wrap my head around that. I can't figure out what makes sense. Nothing makes sense. It just the pieces don't fit in the puzzle.
Yeah, none of it does.
That doesn't. Michael, I think you said this Friday with Stanton and how there were people that wanted him released. I understand he was frustrating. He wasn't good to watch, but when you have a guy like that, you don't release him, because if they did release him, somebody would scoop him up right away.
Right, so because then he'd be a minimum wage player, and the Yankees would be paying all his money.
Yeah, it's just when you have to do what it does. And right now, look at him. The Yankees are winning games because of him. And the Grand Slam was a big part of what he did. I know that home run against the Marlins, they helped them come back. They almost had a chance to win. So I feel like I don't think he's turning the corner, but I just feel like you can't give up on somebody like this. You got to give him chances. And if he wasn't good, well, then they had places to do. They have Trent Grisham where they could put him in center and DH Judge or Soto, like you said. So I just don't. You just don't release people.
Well, Griffin, here's the problem. And I don't want to insult a broad scope of people, but there was a guy who called in, after he started out 3 for 24. I think he had 13 strikeouts in 24, but it was terrible. He looked awful. They should release Stan. And I said, when they're not releasing Stan, they owe him $98 million. And they'll let it play out and they'll let it breathe. Now, if after a couple of months he's still not hitting, then you're going to see him have less of a role. But people that want to release people after 24 at-bats, they don't know baseball. They don't know what the sport is. They're reactionary. It's like, let's do this, let's do that. You can't do that in baseball. You've got to let things breathe. So anybody who said they have to release Stanton because he was 3 for 24, I'm sorry. What you're watching, you don't quite understand.
I know, but in fairness to them, you're right, they're reactionary. They're not basing it off of the first 24 at-bats. They were basing it off of the progression that they've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it doesn't make any baseball sense, because why would you pay him literally to go play for somebody else? You try to make it work, but I can understand the fans' frustration, Michael, when he's striking out all the time. He's a compromised player, and he's not worth, in their eyes, the money that he's being paid, and he didn't live up to the expectations that they had on him, and hasn't for the last couple of years. But you still have to try to make it work when you're paying him that much money.
I mean, he really didn't live up to the expectations last year, and he gets hurt a lot. But he's been a very productive player in the postseason, one of the few Yankees that has been. And I'm not saying that he's turned the corner now, because the home runs that he's hit have been on fastballs like 93. Last year he was a 100 hitter against things over 94 miles an hour. Let's see. Now, the Yankees aren't going to face that type of pitcher this weekend in Cleveland. Let's see when the Yankees see a steady diet of somebody throwing 97, 98, if he's able to hit that fastball. Then we'll see if he has really turned a corner. You know, Mother Nature gets everybody. Father Time gets everybody. Will it get him? It looks like it's affected him already, but he did come in with a different body type, so maybe that body allows him to get the fastballs now. We'll see. But to release somebody, or to say release somebody after 10 games, you don't know the sport.
Oh, boy. It hurts when you say that.
They didn't have to release Gallo. They got something for Gallo.
Right. They didn't have to release. I mean, in the history of time, you know, they didn't want Danny Tartabull, and Gene Michael told Buck Showalter, "I could trade him." You know, you can't. They made a bet. He said, "I could trade anybody." And then he came in. He said, "I traded Danny Tartabull," and Showalter said, "Who'd you get?" He said, "Ruben Sierra." He said, "Ruben Sierra?" He goes, "I didn't tell you who I was getting for him. I said I could trade anybody." And Ruben Sierra actually contributed to the Yankees.
He did.
All right, we've got Bob Wischusen coming up next. So Peter, Don, me, we could take the segment off.
Well, somebody's got to ask the first question.
I'll give the honor, and Don, if you have a follow-up hockey question, go. But I think that's good for 12 minutes.
See that you just go, "Hey, Bob, how are you?" And we just all mute the mics?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see how it works out.
I love what you're saying.
Empire Outlets on Staten Island is the place.
With Fidelity Income Planning, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll help you create a flexible strategy designed to balance growth and guaranteed income, so you can enjoy the life you've created. That's the planning effect from Fidelity.
Is your cat getting too cool? Give him Temptations dry cat food.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
Dear Plugged In, as always, you're a step ahead. Turn up the fun full throttle in Toyota's all-electric BZ4X with available all-wheel drive. So charge up, hop in, and let's go. Yours, BZ4X.
Get 1.99% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 TFS APR subvention cash, or get $10,000 TFS lease subvention cash. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Wounded Warrior Project has been with me every step of my journey.
Aaron, how you doing, bud? With experiences that help me realize that I'm not alone.
And specialized programs that give me the tools to train my body and mind.
Now, it's possible for me to get back out there.
To get out of my comfort zone and try new things.
To build and be part of a community that supports other warriors.
It's possible to get the help I need for me and my family.
I got my confidence back. I'm setting goals, and I'm achieving them.
It's possible to feel understood, whether it's day one or 20 years down the road. They've got your back.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, Wounded Warrior Project is adapting to meet them.
Because when we pull together,
it's possible to go further than you ever imagined.
Taste is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
FanDuel Casino has your chance at the #1 feeling, winning. Winning ranks higher than any other feeling, higher than number 30. Saying, I told you so.
Told you so.
Higher than number 89, the feeling of catching your car keys with one hand. And number 78, thinking it's Friday when it's really Saturday. New players get 200 chances at winning with their first deposit on FanDuel Casino.
We're
Where'd you learn to serve?
Oh, I didn't serve, but if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served in the military, you can join USAA.
Yeah, my grandpa did, so I'm already in, but I was talking about your serve.
Oh.
USAA, for the military community.
What's the score of the game?
The score is 6-3.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the new Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty. Lease a Hyundai Elantra for only $179 a month or get 3.89% APR or up to $1,000 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end soon.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now, boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
New season, new reasons to say yes.
Wow! Aaron Judge crushes one.
Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
Soto does it again.
We're dogs out here.
There was barking in the dugout.
Sarah, you've got this, okay? But they lost.
Not really. Not where it counts.
All right, the Rangers stumbling a little bit as they try to nail down the conference and the President's Trophy, but they will play the Islanders, who need every win they could get, and that game is going to be tomorrow on ABC. And calling the play-by-play is our good friend Bob Wischusen, and that leads us into the hockey report brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. Yeah, we've got a hockey report now. Bob, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I miss you guys.
We miss you, too.
Miss you, too. That was nice.
That was really nice.
I guess we're going to miss you during the football season next year, too.
Why'd you go there, Peter?
See, that's not right. I mean, I'll hear him just the same, but he's not. He won't be our guy anymore.
He's still our guy. Right, Bob?
Yeah. Then it'll be Stairway to Heaven and then Jeffrey Game.
Yep, there you go. There you go. Now, if you need any help whatsoever with the numbers of both teams, I can help you out with that. Don can help you if you haven't memorized the players.
I appreciate that. Appreciate the offer.
Why did the Islanders take until the end of the season to play their best hockey? Last year they did it. This year they're doing it again.
I don't know.
All right, good stuff.
Good stuff, Bob.
Moving right along.
Well, their special teams have been so bad all year that, to me, like the smaller sample size is what's happening right now with them. I'm not surprised that they're streaky. They've got some streaky players on their team. They've got plenty of talent. Don knows this, right? I mean, they've got guys that can score goals. But you can't win in bunches in the NHL if you can't, do well, I think, on special teams. Right. And to me, that's what made the Rangers so consistent all year, is their power play is so good. Their penalty kill is so good. Like, the Rangers are an average team 5-on-5. I think after last night's game, I think they're dead even in their scoring to opponent scoring 5-on-5, which from a Rangers standpoint would worry me a little bit, that they're too power play dependent going into the postseason. But I think that success on special teams has just made them very consistent, and the Islanders have been bad all year on special teams. Hard to win in bunches that way.
Especially being 32nd on the kill, Bob. That's gonna oust them. Correct. At some point, because
dead last.
When you get that kind of skill in the postseason, teams are going to be able to take advantage of that. But you kind of picked at a scab that a lot of Ranger fans are concerned about, and that is the 5-on-5 play. They, third best power play, third best penalty kill, great come from behind team, but they get into a series where they're going to have to be reliant on even strength play, they're average. And you hope that maybe Philip Hedl might be able to contribute to that. In case you missed it, he's going to come back, and he looks like he might be ready for the postseason, which is certainly going to help them at the center position. But is that going to be enough if they get into a series against a Panther team or a Carolina team where they're responsible, they're not going to give you too much? Is this team going to be able to win a series if it's going to be a 5-on-5 type of game?
I don't know. What happened to them last year?
Exactly.
Right? They didn't go too far.
Well,
and they were very similar last year. They were super power play dependent. You get to the postseason against better teams, they take less penalties. You're right. And look, Philip Hedl is a really nice player, but there has to be a rust factor. He was there last year. It's not like all of a sudden you're injecting some players they didn't have last season. And, so look, they're supremely talented. This sport, like any sport, is about difference makers. They have them. Zibanejad, Panarin, Fox, Kreider in the net front. I mean, even Lafreniere has become a true difference maker. So they can beat anyone. But 5-on-5 is a concern. That is a viable concern against, especially, as you said, against more disciplined teams of the playoffs.
Well, the only thing I would disagree with the addition of Hedl is you might be right, Hedl himself, but what Hedl allows you to do, if I could put a Wenberg at my fourth line center, if I can move Roslovic down, I think I can round 4 legitimate lines that possibly can score 5-on-5 instead of maybe 2.5 without Hedl.
Yeah, and that probably helps you 5-on-5.
Right.
Deeper, no doubt. Look, he's a really talented player. What will he have after this kind of an absence? How effective will he be? I mean, I'll be as curious as anybody to see that.
So this is a 12:30 game, right? I might have said 3.
Yes.
It's 12:30.
12:30. It's the first game of a triple header on ABC.
I'm looking forward to it.
Apparently, Bob, shocked silence from Michael on the triple header.
I mean, triple headers excite me. You know how I feel about sports. I love triple headers.
That's a good promo. The company appreciates it.
Let me ask you something about the Jets, Bob. Do you believe they should take Bowers with the 10th pick, or should they take an offensive lineman?
If it were me, I would still lean offensive line.
Even though Bowers is considered to be so special?
I guess, question, and look, this is the argument that they'll have, and it's an awesome argument around that conference table, and there'll be voices on both sides of it. A lot of it depends on which tackles are there. Their consensus opinion of those tackles are they could potentially trade down and still get a tackle. But are they all going to realistically be able to look each other and say, are the 2 starting tackles we have penciled in right now going to both play 13 or 14 games each or less? I mean, there's almost no way that those 2 guys get through the whole season without missing some time. That would be amazing. If Lundqvist and Smith made it all the way through the year and both played like DeBrickashaw, Ferguson, Nick Mangold-esque 17 games each, and they were just rocks on the offensive line, it'd be amazing. That'd be great. That would be the best possible outcome. It's hard to imagine happens, and easy to imagine that one of them misses a lot of time. Right? That's what you're really concerned about is one of them gets an injury that knocks him out for 6 or 7 weeks. So I don't know. To me, having another tackle, it's almost like starting pitching. I mean, we'll look at their offensive line over the last few years. They've never been able to have enough of those guys to try and protect Aaron Rodgers.
Bob, is Zach Wilson on this team in 2024? And if not, what's the exit strategy?
I can't see that. Myself, I'd be very surprised. And I think they would be doing him a favor just giving him a change of address. I mean, like, you bring Tyrod Taylor in, obviously, to be the backup. So if Zach's on the team, then you're carrying automatically a third quarterback who's making a decent amount of money still. I don't know. And really, I mean, is he going to play at all? No. Like, Tyrod Taylor would obviously be the quarterback that would play if Aaron Rodgers hopefully doesn't get hurt, but got hurt for a period of time. So, I think they try and trade him as much as they can, and maybe they release him if they can't trade him to someone for, a late conditional pick. I don't know any other scenario that makes sense.
Well, here's what I would go back with, though, Bob. We're talking with Bob Wischusen here on the Michael K. Show. If you don't trade him and you don't get rid of that salary, I'm not releasing him and paying the salary. I'll keep him as the third quarterback. Well, why do I have to do him any favors? If you're going to pay him anyway, might as well be on the team.
Yeah, and I guess you could go that way. I just don't know that that's healthy for either party. But
I didn't know you were Gandhi.
That would give him the ability to do what we all thought was the best case scenario this past year.
Right.
And that is stick behind Aaron Rodgers and learn. But, you wonder, at this point, could he ever really confidently step out in front of that fan base again and play?
I mean, that's the thing, Bob.
And that's really hard to see.
If he's on the team, you know how it works with quarterbacks of the Jets. There's a very good likelihood he's going to play again. And you can't do that to anybody.
Bob, are you allowed to admit to us, seeing that you're the voice of the team, that if we had one of those weeks again where Zach is starting and we go in circles and have the same conversation about maybe this is the week that Zach really shows us something, that you're going to throw up in your mouth a little bit? Can you say that?
I would say that there have been a lot of times where you're right. You sat there and you wondered, like that Chiefs game or the Eagles, like, is this the light switch turned on game for him? And he was never able to follow that up with performances that said the light switch turning on was anything more than just a one-off. And you've got to be able to play at this level one-offs. I mean, you got to be able to string performances together. And unfortunately, he has not been able to do that. Has he always had the best hand dealt to him? Well, no Jet quarterback has. But like when you compare the hand that was dealt to Zach Wilson to the hand that was dealt to Sam Darnold, it's not even close. Like Sam Darnold's best skill position player for his last 2 years with the Jets was Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson would get cut by the Jets now. And he was the best skill guy they had.
True.
So Sam really was out there all by himself. I mean, there was never one time where Sam was tossing a ball to a Breece Hall or throwing a slant to a Garrett Wilson. I mean, he never even had a Tyler Conklin. So, to me, the fact that Zach has had two of the brightest young offensive stars in the NFL for basically his whole time here and has never been able to provide consistent performances, it just kind of spells the end of his time with the Jets to me. I would think he would be best served, and they'd probably be best served if he just ended up in a different spot.
All right, take me through tomorrow before we let you go. I know you have the biggest state, New Jersey, but you have a 12:30 game. Do you stay in the city tonight so that you can get to the Garden early, or are you going to make that drive from the biggest state in Jersey?
I mean, I could take the train to this game. People do this every day. This is a commute. I don't take this for granted, too. I am not in an airport. I am not in a hotel right now.
Right.
I'm in my house, and I'm doing a game for ESPN tomorrow. I mean, not long ago, I'd be spending my, winter and early spring Saturdays in Lubbock, Texas, and Ames, Iowa. So this is amazing.
So you'll be at the estate. You will not be doing the hotel today, so you're closer to the Garden.
Yeah, like I've let the guys at the guard shack out on the perimeter know I'm going to be staying in tonight. So they're going to. I think they're going to allow the DoorDash driver to come through the gate to deliver my dinner. But outside of that, I'm going to keep it quiet tonight.
Beautiful.
Wow. Did you get tickets to fish at the Sphere?
No.
Oh, you sound down.
I'm working.
Yeah. No.
I'm working.
How many dates did they do?
They're going to do 4.
Just 4.
And you're working every one of the 4?
Well, I mean, it's the weekend in between the end of the NHL regular season and the beginning of the playoffs. So I have a game Thursday night in Minnesota, and then Friday morning fly home and basically find out either Friday or Saturday where I go. Because we don't even know yet. We haven't been told even what our assignments are or what series we're covering. So,
well, if you want to go, I'm willing to fill in for you.
Vegas.
Wow.
What a guy.
And you could talk to Jim Dolan tomorrow if you see him and say, can you add a show when I'm not working?
Well, he's nice to schedule over Christmas time, usually when I can squeeze one in, like around New Year's.
Right.
But this is playoff time.
Yeah.
And you got to be locked in.
Even though we're going to see you, we're going to miss you, Bob.
I appreciate it.
Well, you're going to miss? Why are we going to this? Are we going to see fish?
No, I'm just saying that in all seriousness, we were connected, the Jets and this radio station, for 20 years. Now, I'll see Bob. I know Bob. I knew Bob before ESPN even existed as a radio station in New York.
And you'll probably know when it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'm just saying that there is a connection that I was very proud of. 16 years I work with this man, and for the connection to be severed, it's something. So I'm just saying I'm going to miss that. We're still good, but there's a connection that has been severed.
Wow.
No doubt. I mean, at any point, I would love to come in and hang out with you guys. Michael and I, from what I understand, can get together and we can both drink with our children now, which is something that's fun to be able to do. So can't recommend that enough. There's a lot of still very solid connection points between me and you guys.
Well, none with Peter, though.
What?
There's no connection with Peter.
What do you mean?
What's your connection?
Peter's more than welcome to drink with us and our children, as far as I'm concerned, whenever he wants.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
Bob, have a great call tomorrow.
Thanks.
And enjoy the DoorDash.
See you guys.
That's the Hockey Report brought to you by Samwell Institute for Pain Management. For a pain-free life, visit SamwellPain.com today. Here's what I'm going to tell you what I think just happened, and I want to know if you guys agree. I think Bob heard that he was going to talk for 12 minutes, and he gave us nothing. I think he stiffed us because we were joking around, he did not give us his best with choosing.
You're disappointed? You're now complaining?
That's a serious allegation.
Well, you know what? We'll pick it up when we come back, but I think that's clearly what he was doing because he's quick on his feet and he's giving 1 or 2 word answers. I think he was sticking it to us. That's what he was doing.
I cannot
You know what, Michael?
sign on that.
Michael, I think you need help.
Okay.
And speaking of help, this message is brought to you by
Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started. Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started. Switch to Square and take charge of your business and your time. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale, every way you want, and every way they want too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Switch to taking control and taking more free time, whatever that means to you. Make the switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
And the breakthrough odd-chain essential fatty acid in Fatty 15 works to keep you healthier longer. Exactly. Fatty 15 strengthens cellular membranes by 80%, which protects you from traditional signs of aging. The single pure ingredient in Fatty 15 delivers improved metabolic, liver, heart, and immune health you can feel. To learn about improving cellular health and long-term whole body wellness, see the benefits, and nerd out with us at fatty15.com.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
New at Maurice's, fresh fashion for all the places you're going this spring. Plan your getaway with new comfort classics. Dress for occasions in beautifully flowing fabrics. Enjoy a night out in feel-good fashion. Go do spring. We've got you.
Cups. Forget flying cars. This is it. We're at the pinnacle. And meet Reese's distant but delicious cousins.
Welcome to Golden Nugget Online Casino. With all the slots and table games you love, feel like you're on the casino floor no matter where you are. So download the app, get started with this great offer, and have a great time in your downtime.
We all want to feel safe when traveling. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious, such as an abandoned bag or erratic behavior from a passenger, just call 911. You can call anonymously, and it's okay if it turns out to be nothing. Work together with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to keep our transportation facilities safe. Visit PANYNJ.gov to learn more.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Can you feel it? Mustang Mach-E. Feel something electric. For a limited time, lease a Mach-E for $399 a month for 36 months and receive a complimentary Ford connected charge station.
Visit linkedbylovetv.org to learn more about kidney disease, transplantation, and prevention. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
New season, new reasons to say yes. Wow. Yes to the ultimate viewing experience.
Aaron Judge crushes one.
Yes to in-game live stats. And earn rewards and win prizes. Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
Break it down for the people. I believe that Bob really stuck it to us. That's what I thought. That was not his best. That was not his best guest spot. I think he did it on purpose. I think he did it on purpose.
God. First of all, do we even know that you're telling the truth?
What?
That it was bad. It was good.
No.
He's got a sense of humor
there was
that's a little
awkward
different.
silences. That's not him. He's a supreme broadcaster.
But I think in Peter, right, when he's trying to be funny, the pauses, I think that was a little off, but I think it was just part of his charm and trying to be funny.
I think he phoned it in.
Wow.
Literally.
Bob has never phoned anything, and I've known this guy literally for 30 years.
I think he heard what we said, that we were going to say hello, and he was going to talk for 12 minutes, and he stiffed us.
Oh.
And I'm okay with it. I mean, it's a nice payback.
I got to tell you.
And he doesn't work for us anymore, so what does he care?
I got to tell you. You're something else. All you do is say the guy never shuts up. You give him a hard time. You make him loud. You call him Bob Weasel Shoes. He never says boo. And then he comes on our show, does a fine hit.
It wasn't a fine hit. You're lying.
What was wrong with the hit?
It was a truncated, hemming and hawing hit. That's not him.
That's what you're thinking, Don? Do you feel that?
No.
Oh.
You just want to kill the guy.
No, I love the guy. We have a good relationship. We actually text privately all the time. He's a good friend.
The only thing I'll say is maybe his comedic timing was off a bit, because I do think some of the pauses were him setting up something funny that he was going to say.
Yeah, well, it didn't pay off.
Well, that happens, and not every comedian's going to be on every time.
Bill Burr's on all the time. Bob Wischusen's on all the time.
But here's the Bob was bringing a little bit of sense, but still he brought a lot of information. I thought it was a nice back and all right. Listen, you didn't like it. I enjoyed it.
Okay, that's all that counts.
I just don't know why all this has to be on the air.
Everything's on the air. You've taught me that. You've taught me that.
But why? I just don't know why Bob is always getting killed by Kay. No matter what, he talks too much. He's this. He's a stoner. He's a fish head. He's this.
Oh, any of that untrue?
Well, he's not a stoner.
If you go to fish, you're just by secondary smoke, you're a stoner.
That's not how it works.
Do you think there's ever been a fish concert where marijuana is not prevalent?
No.
Okay, so you're going to get secondhand stoned.
But there's a lot of. Every concert I'd ever been to at Madison Square Garden or the Meadowlands, anywhere, I've smelled pot.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna
skunk pot.
You know what I'm gonna say right now, Don? There's a hot take I'm coming with right now.
Okay.
Is there a more overrated concept than like secondhand stoned? It's so I've barely
contact high is what you're saying.
The contact high, I think, is kind of made up.
Was there Bad Bunny Bourbons yesterday?
I didn't smell it. I saw some Bourbons, but not much. It was, more just incredibly attractive ladies, sipping wine and things of that nature.
I think Peter was a little overwhelmed last night.
Yeah, he keeps bringing up how many beautiful people were there. I mean, all you have to do is look to your right in your house. You have a beautiful person.
Well, she was with me there too, admiring, and she actually went to the bathroom, and when she walked around, she said, "I don't even know if I'm going to let Peter go to the bathroom. I don't know if he can go. I don't know if she can send me out in the hallway." It was truly something, guys. I don't just say, Don, I'm not loose with these kind of assessments, am I?
No.
I don't say this every day.
I'm loose with those kind of assessments.
Well, yeah,
right,
we know.
You're not. Yankees rained out today, so they'll play a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. And because of doubleheader, you get to call up an extra player. The Yankees are going to start Clark Schmidt in Game 1, and they're going to call up Cody Poteet, who they signed as a free agent during the offseason. He will start Game 2. So there's your Yankee news.
Is that an opener, or is that someone that can give him length?
Oh, length like you wouldn't believe.
Excuse me?
Like big-time length. He's a starter.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
what I'm
familiar with
telling
his
you.
work.
You're not familiar with Poteet?
No.
Have you ever read the book, Little Poteet?
That's Bo Peep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel goofy today. It's a goofy Friday.
I can tell at the expense of others.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, Bob didn't survive that segment.
Well, he didn't survive it. He's getting paid well. He's going to do the game tomorrow. He's good. He's fine.
Well, both could be true. I don't. He's so inconsistent.
Who, me?
You.
I'm very consistent.
Always said.
I'm consistently a bad guy. Peter said
guests are like a guest in our home. And I don't think Bob deserved to be treated that way.
No. I waited till Bob left to talk about it.
That's even worse then.
That's the worst kind of
Didn't I say that Doc was a delight? He was a guest, and he brought it.
But
Bob didn't bring it today.
But then that would have been better radio.
Bring it up. You know what, Anthony, run up the poll. Was that Wischusen's best work today?
God, this was on our air.
I know. But it was so truncated and so hesitant that I believe it made it good.
I am not on board with this assessment at all. This is a Michael K. vehicle.
And hop on the vehicle.
Expressed by Michael K. are not necessarily those.
We might need that. We might need that on every
Peter
show
Rosenberg, and all of 98.7 ESPN.
Well, I needed it more than anybody. A couple of months ago, I got excoriated in a column for something I didn't say that you said.
And you straightened that out.
You know what's it was been very nerve-wracking, Don?
What's that?
I've been mentioned twice in Phil's column in the last 2 weeks, both positive.
No, I don't like it.
So I'm going to get excoriated soon. I mean, there's going to be a full-page Michael K. Stinks column any day now, any Friday or Sunday. Could be this Sunday.
And here's the thing. You shouldn't care about the positive or the negative.
I care about what everybody feels about me, Don. I care about what you feel about me. Maybe not Peter. I care what Phil thinks. I care what all of our fans think.
You care more. Apparently, you don't care what Bob thinks because you just excoriated him on the air.
No. I what I did was I graded the performance. He got a D.
When did we start doing that, Peter?
Today's the day. Peter, tell us about FanDuel.
And why is it just Bob? That he's the only one who really gets
I gave Dwight Gooden an A.
He stinks.
Of course you did, because you're a kiss-up. Guys,
Why am I not a kiss-up to Wischusen then?
Because he can't do anything for you, I guess. I don't know. It's playoff time, guys. The NBA and the NHL, we're here. And baseball.
We just signed the lease on our third shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We've worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to CustomInk.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our Custom Ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at CustomInk.com.
Rebag, a luxury resale marketplace, curated with an eye for detail, where every inch of Togo, caviar, and monogram is carefully vetted by our specialists. A seamless experience for luxury collectors and sellers. Access the expertly crafted and the hard to find. Your next investment awaits. Rebag. Get 10% off your first purchase with Rebag TV.
Away makes luggage and bags that make packing, compressing, cinching, zipping, sliding, and going easier than ever. Away.
Do you want to know what I've been binge watching? Udemy courses. They have thousands of courses that help me advance my career from anywhere, especially with this little one. I need to get in as much learning as I can. For both of us.
There's an easier way. From painting and cleaning to repairs and more. Taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" And then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com. Bored with the food you have at home? Enter Home Chef. End a busy day with our easy prep, no mess dinners. Wake up with our energizing breakfast options. And grab our quick lunches that'll hold you over till dinner. Home Chef makes it easy to enjoy all 3 meals from the comfort of home. Get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert, of course, delivered to your door by Home Chef. Order now and get 18 free meals and free shipping, plus free dessert for life.
The magical time between school letting out and dinner is a piece of chaos.
These 4-serving meals make everything so much easier.
Home Chef's family menu. Get 18 free meals at homechef.com.
My name is O'Neil Trinidad, and I want to live.
You know what? Don and I have been together a long time. Peter's been here, 7, 8 years. The three of us, it's a long-term relationship. And sometimes you've got to really come to grips with the fact that maybe the relationship is over, because it's amazing. Like, sometimes relationships run their course. So I was just talking to Jacob, and I was talking to our producer, Anthony. They both agreed that that was not the best Bob Wischusen spot. But Peter and Don, they refused to believe it because I said it. So it might, we might be coming to the end of this threesome. It might be time.
It's odd that you would take that turn when it's possible. I don't want to speak for Peter, that we're just talking up our guy. I don't want to rip our guy on the air.
I'm not ripping him. I said that what he did
You said he ripped us
was
off.
calculated, because we were insulting him and they talked too much. He obviously heard it, and then the first answer out of the box was no, I don't know. So that's not Bob. Bob's a brilliant broadcaster. Brilliant. What'd you say, Anthony?
We have the drop of the first.
All right, here's the first question. Listen. Why did the Islanders take until the end of the season to play their best hockey? Last year they did it. This year they're doing it again.
I don't know.
All right, good stuff.
Even
Bob,
you said good stuff. Good stuff, Peter. You said good stuff.
But that was funny.
No, but it wasn't. Let's stick it to this big-headed freak who says I talk a lot. That's exactly what he did. And you guys, because it's me and I'm actually saying my opinion, you can't back me up.
That's how you take it.
Yeah.
The world doesn't revolve around you, Michael.
I
It's
know,
not
it
all
doesn't
about
at
you.
all. It
Maybe
doesn't.
we just wanted to have the back of a guy that we respect in Bob and didn't want to destroy him on the air.
How about the back of your friend?
You never have our back, and this isn't even about having your back. This isn't someone attacking you. This is you attacking someone else.
You're two really awful people. That's all I can say.
Oh my!
You know what? Let me. You know what, Mike? What's your name? Don.
You know what?
Let's say the thing that we need to say, so Michael appreciates us. I'll speak for both of us. Don and I absolutely would cheat on our wives for money, and we hate Bob Wischusen. Are you happy?
No, I don't hate.
Is that what has to be said, Don?
Once again,
is that what has to be said?
Absolutely just you actually confirmed what I'm saying. You're both awful people. You just are, and awful friends. And again, because the sands through the hourglass, and we've had a great run. There's no denying it. Great run, top of the ratings. We've gone through everything. It might be over. It might be over.
But how does it end?
It might have run. It might have run its course.
All right. Let's play this out. It's a good 5 o'clock hour segment. Let's play this out. All right, you're right. It's done. So what's the exit strategy, as I like to say?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I got another year after this. What, you want me to walk away?
No.
I think we got to try to make this work. We're all under contract. What do we do?
I think that this now requires heavy lifting because, the natural friendship and camaraderie, it's gone. It's obvious. What you guys have done
that way.
if you've become vipers toward me, that's okay. I think it's cute. I just don't know if it plays all the time. He clearly gave a bad performance as a guest, and you can't even bring yourself to agree with me. It might be over.
Let's just say, for sake of argument, that you're right.
I am right.
That we're lying and we agree with you. When does that become good sports radio? To just all agree with everything Michael Kay says?
I have learned at the foot of Don LaGreca. Make it all out there. Tell the truth. We don't. Even Peter said earlier, we don't do this stuff for clicks. We tell the truth.
So why can't we disagree with you and you take offense to it?
Don't you believe that it would have been better radio if you both thought that Bob Wischusen was absolutely horse manure on that take?
But it just didn't. It didn't cross my mind.
Well, I'm telling you. You want to play that again, Anthony? Play it again. Oh, God. Play it again.
Play it.
Why did the Islanders take until the end of the season to play their best hockey? Last year they did it. This year they're doing it again.
I don't know.
All right, good stuff.
Good stuff, Bob.
Moving right along.
See, now it's interesting. Now, but let's really dissect that.
Yeah.
Clearly, you can hear, Peter, that it was off-putting to Michael, Bob's response. Mm-hmm. My response was genuine laughter because I thought it was funny. And you snapped back, to try to make it work. Like, our visceral reactions to that tell you that we were telling the truth. Like, you didn't like it. I thought it was funny because if he was listening and heard us bash him about he talks too much, isn't that a money response? I don't know. And then we laugh.
I'm not saying it was bad. It was brilliant. You know how vindictive I am. So if that was the way he answered our accusation of him being long-winded, good for him. But don't say it was a great segment. KT Wizard on X said, I have to agree with Michael K. Bob bagged the appearance today, no doubt about it.
But see, that's where we disagree. Now, was it the best we've ever gotten from Bob? Absolutely not. I agree with you there. But
I'll take that.
He's not bagging it. And I thought he probably did hear we made fun of him. We've always talked about that. We've said it to him. And I think that was a great response. But I think he was trying to be a little funny. Some of the jokes didn't necessarily hit. I don't think it was intentional.
Well, also, I mean, you act as if... see, now this is going to sound like I'm the one insulting Bob. I love Bob. I love hanging with Bob. I think he's a great guy and a wonderful broadcaster and commentator, play-by-play guy. You act as if, like, when he calls, he's Jeff Passett or Steve Young. I mean,
but he has that potential. He's brilliant.
No,
the guy,
no, he doesn't.
I heard, sources have told me that he reads the side of a cereal box during breakfast to the kids. He loves to talk.
Okay, see, now again, back to the insult. All you do is insult the guy. All I'm saying is I like Bob a lot. When you guys said today Bob was calling in, I thought, that's nice. I'm going to make some fish jokes with him. I'm going to have a good time. I never thought, oh, my God, Bob is going to come dropping in heat rocks. That's not what Bob does when he calls in.
Let me put it this way. If Bob performs on the Islanders-Rangers game tomorrow at 12:30 on ABC, the way he performed on this segment, he's going to get a call from Jimmy Pitaro.
Wow.
You really think so?
If he's like that, but you know what? Bob will be shot out of a cannon at 12:30 on ABC.
But I think that was quintessential Bob. He's got a very dry sense of humor.
Well, it was arid this time.
Listen, you want to be honest, I don't think we were Edward R. Murrow during that interview. I mean,
That's a great
we
point
gave him
also.
some questions to promote the game. I kind of went back and forth with him with the Heedle stuff. Listen, I don't need anybody to tell me about Rangers Islanders. I should be telling him. But we had him on to promote the game, and we did that. But again, we weren't dissecting, this was not Frost Nixon. All right, we're just having some fun back and forth, and I think he kind of treated it that way. He's promoting the game. We threw some Jet stuff at him.
Good.
But right,
I'm
Peter,
wrong again.
I didn't look at that. I don't think any of us need him to tell us what to expect tomorrow. He gave his opinion. It wasn't really an interview. It was kind of just him joining us to promote the game. And he was funny. Now, funny could be hit or miss. I get it. And Bob's got kind of an Iron Eagle sense of humor, very dry. Take it or leave it.
It's all right. No, I'm good. I actually feel cathartic almost. It has to be said. The sands are running through the hourglass. There's not that many sands left. Hopefully it lasts the whole year. That there's enough sand to last the whole year.
Honestly, Michael, I mean this, and I don't want to speak for Peter. If you gotta go, man.
I don't want to go.
I don't want to sit here.
No, I don't want to go.
If
you guys want to
go through. No, I make this work every day. I don't look at the finish line. I look at now. I'm like a coach. We asked Peter Laviolette about the President's Trophy. No, I'm only worried about the next game. I'm worried about the next segment, all right? I'm not thinking about sand through the hourglass. I'm not thinking about it all coming to be an end. If you think that way, then go. We got a show to do. I'm trying to do the best show possible till 6:30. And you know what I'm going to do next, Peter? Monday.
What?
What are we doing Monday?
That's right.
What's Monday's show?
Here's the way I look at this show now. Is when you walk in to a hospital room and there's an elderly relative hooked up to that machine, and I don't see the clear heartbeat like I used to.
Oh, my God. Then go, man.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
I'll pull the plug. If you're the elderly person, I'm pulling the plug.
I am still performing at an incredibly high level. I'm saying the camaraderie between the three of us it's not what it used to be.
I don't think it's ever been better.
Really?
Honestly, I feel very close to you.
Well, because we didn't kill Bob Wischusen's hit? I don't understand. The hills you choose to die on, man.
Because this all comes back again to it all about Michael.
But Mike Kubica on X goes, Michael is 100% right. I feel like Don knows it, but doesn't want to throw Bob under the bus on air.
It just wasn't. Listen, if you said to us, hey, guys, was that one of the great segments we've ever had on the show? Both Don and I would have said, no, not great. It wasn't top 10. If you said, who was better, Bob or Doc today? I would have said, Doc. But for you to point out, was Bob Wischusen awful? No, he was just fine.
And why do you take this disagreement personal?
I don't look at it personal.
He killed it. 2 days ago, you asked us to would you. We sincerely disagreed with you, and you think we're lying bad people.
No, I didn't say bad people. I just said liars.
Well, liars are bad people.
No, there are liars that lie for a reason. You guys are lying to keep your relationships together.
You would lie for $250 million.
I wouldn't lie. She would never know. There'd be no lying.
That's still lying.
It's not
lying.
Is
still lying.
Here, I thought of an answer to you while I was driving home. And I said, I'm going to bring this up to Peter. I'm glad you just brought it up. So you said you've dealt with guilt before, right? And you don't like the feeling. It's awful, right?
Yeah.
You did that for
you're
nothing.
mocking, yeah.
For
Yeah,
nothing.
no, it was for
But for
some-
$250 million, you couldn't deal with it. You got guilt to do nothing, but $250, you'd say, I can't do it again.
Hold on. First of all, with all due, I say this completely respectfully. How dumb are you? Honestly,
I think I'm brilliant.
No one does anything that creates massive guilt for nothing, Don. Believe you me, there's something the person is doing it for. But if one has experienced before that feeling before and hated it and would never want to feel it again, there might not be a price that would then make that feeling worthwhile. Don, doesn't that make perfect sense?
Yes. Because
how much money is enough money? Where do you draw the line? So if I have 50 million, 100, where is it? I have nowhere near either of that amount, but I'm not thinking about where my next meal is going to come from, and I don't live with any guilt. It's great.
JJ in North Carolina tweets, it takes a lot for JJ in North Carolina to agree with Michael, considering he calls me hack every chance he gets, but I have to agree with Michael here. Brutal and awkward performance by the Weasel Man.
You know what? Fine. Is it going to make it better if I say he was bad?
No, because I'm just saying, and I love you guys. Your first inclination always is to disagree with me.
Now we've hit it.
Even when I'm right.
But now this has nothing to do with Bob. This has nothing to do with guilt. This has everything to do with your ego feels challenged every time we disagree with you. What kind of show do you want us to do here, Michael?
No, you're wrong. It's a physical and mental impossibility to always disagree with me. It's inconceivable that I can be so far off the planet that you can disagree with me every single time.
I agreed that we thought that when you said Doc was great, we agreed. I say I agree with you a lot of times.
You guys are afraid to be negative, and I'm the only one who wants to go out on a limb, make great radio. Sad.
This whole thing is sad and it is upsetting.
Let's go to the phones.
This is so disconcerting.
It's not. You know what this is, Don? This is real. This is raw.
I don't doubt that, but is it necessary?
You said everything is good for the radio. You told me that.
I know, but it doesn't.
You taught me to be a radio man.
I know, but not like this, where you're challenging the relationship and the direction and the future of the show.
No, I think that the camaraderie isn't there anymore. You guys don't like me. I get it. That's all right. Let's go to Dan in Pasadena. Danny.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call. Really hope you're joking about the show breaking up.
No, it's not breaking up.
Michael,
it just feels that way.
Okay, good. Because, Michael, as you may know, a lot of people out here in L.A., they kind of hate you right now. But I'm not one of those people. Just want to make that clear before I get to my point. I love the show, listen every day. Usually, I can stomach Don's Dodger hate. I know he hasn't gotten over 88. I know Nancy's a Giants fan. But, I just have to ask regarding the Shohei story. Have you actually read the federal complaint yet?
I've read a lot of it. I haven't read all of it, to be honest.
Okay, no, that's understandable. I mean, it's a long thing because I feel like, I totally get your point about him, not speaking to the media as a fan. I'd love him to speak to the media more. Seems like he only answers questions about once or twice a week. But I feel like your questions yesterday about, like when Don was saying the whole thing stinks and you kind of suggested that, the translator might be the fall guy. I think a lot of those questions would be answered just by kind of reading the complaint. I think
how so?
If you go through the evidence. Well, I think it pretty much exonerates Shohei. They have a lot of evidence. Unless you think, do you think the DOJ, Homeland Security, and the IRS are conspiring to protect him, or what is kind of your position when you say the whole thing stinks?
Well, Don, you go.
Well, because the complaint is, I guess, did he steal the money from Ohtani? So clearly the evidence shows that he took it, but what doesn't connect is how do you not know that money's gone? How can you possibly have all that money stolen from you and you have zero idea?
Yeah, Dan, does that make sense to you? No matter what
that's the point. Maybe none of it can be proved. Maybe none of it can actually tangibly be proved. But all we ask ourselves is, does it make sense that somebody who is your best friend, you practically live together, it's almost like you're in a married relationship, and he's made 119 or 19,000 bets in 2 years. He has stolen millions of dollars from you, and you have zero idea? That doesn't...
Well, I think that's... Yeah, it's a fair skepticism, but I think, you see athletes not all the time, but there are other examples of athletes that have had even larger sums of money stolen from them.
That's a good point.
I think,
but not by their best
close
buddy.
friend.
Well, I think that he took advantage of it. I mean, when they first met, I think Shohei was only, he might have not even been 20 years old yet. I think he took advantage of him. I think.
So is it fair to call him a rube?
I mean, he's a. Can you define rube?
Well, just an ignoramus, completely oblivious of everything around him.
Well, maybe. I mean,
not maybe. But give me I'm not even a Dodger hater. My dad grew up a Dodger fan. It comes down. No, but it comes down to it's one of the other. Either he's completely ignorant or he's in on it. There's no in between. You can't have that much money stolen from you under your nose and say that he's not a complete ignoramus or that he was in on it. There is no third answer. There's only two.
Well, Don, the allegation is that he impersonated Ohtani to the bank and even changed the settings on the account so Ohtani wouldn't even know.
Here's what here's what I want to ask you, because you started with this and you sound like a very reasonable guy. So people in LA hate me. What have I said that's wrong? I have said none of it smells right, but I'm willing to say that he's innocent. The one thing that I've harped on is that this guy has refused to take questions. It's unacceptable. They hate me because of that. People in L.A. hated Ohtani when he was with the Angels. Now all of a sudden he's God?
I don't know about that.
But would they have bowed down to him like they do now, and they're protecting him against a big-headed freak in New York who says he should answer questions? Isn't that a little odd?
Well, I don't think that they're necessary. I think that when you said he has a God complex, and I know you were saying but you were saying if he bet on baseball, he should be banned. I think maybe you right. I get that. I think maybe you were taking a little bit out of context, and I do think, I think just this idea, especially yesterday when it seemed like you almost doubled down in some ways, and
I do double down that he should be answering questions to the media. And Dan, forget about the money. Forget about it. What pitch did you hit for a home run? He doesn't even do that. Who is he? Why is he not allowed to do that? Aaron Judge has to do it.
Well, he does. He doesn't talk every day, but he does talk at least once a week.
Aaron Judge talks every day. Why does he talk once a week? Why? Why is he getting away with once a week?
Well, you'd have to ask him. I'm not with his people. So, like I said, I would love to hear him talk more. I mean, I watch the post game every night, hoping he'll talk. So, I
just find it inconceivable, Dan, that I know you're being somewhat facetious, but people hate me because I'm saying he should talk like every other big star in sports.
Well, I think the bigger issue that people are taking is when you guys were saying that the whole thing stinks, and you're kind of suggesting that he somehow either covered the debts knowingly, even though that there's this entire investigation by the DOJ and Homeland Security that basically found. I mean, they reviewed 9,700 pages of text between him and the interpreter, and there's not a single message.
Dan, I've said it over and over again. I love watching the guy play. I hope he's completely innocent, and all that we have said, that even if he's completely innocent, and Dan, if you're being honest with yourself, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense that somebody could steal $16 million from Jeff Bezos, who has $100 billion. And I think he noticed $16 million missing. That's the only thing that doesn't make sense to me. Is he that clueless?
Well, again, I mean, they say he impersonated. I mean, he has a lot more money than $16 million, and it's alleged that the translator impersonated him to bank officials and changed the settings so Shohei wouldn't even know that the money that these transactions were happening.
And what I've been saying over and over again is, if this is all true, Shohei has to fire the bankers, get the money back from the bank, has to fire all of his people.
He needs a better team.
His team is awful. His team of the Oakland A's.
It wasn't like $16 million was gone at once. It happened over a long period of time.
You're making it seem like, well, he just impersonated Ohtani. Do you need information to be able to do all the things, to change passcodes, to be able to wire money? That information was given to him by Ohtani.
Right, because he was, exactly.
That's what I said, and it's got to be a rube.
Shohei's information.
You allowed him in.
He got taken advantage of in a new country. He's not from here. You say he gave that speech in English. I think there's a big difference between giving a speech and fluently understanding the language. I mean, I think he was taken advantage of in a new country.
Dan, listen,
obviously Dan, that's true.
You can certainly make the case that we are biased against Ohtani with our opinion. You at least have to admit that you are going over the top the other way. You at least have to admit that.
I mean, I'll admit I'm biased.
Well, he's
Well,
saying,
what am I
but
going over
Don,
the top with?
he's saying that the report says that.
To say that it doesn't stink, to just believe everything as is, I think is a little naive.
But if the DOJ says that he's completely innocent, why shouldn't we believe it? The DOJ has no dog in the fight.
But like I said before, there's difference but what you can prove and what you can believe. I mean, if if they were careful with it, I mean, they could show the guy is accusing him of stealing, and then you could show the evidence is that, yeah, he stole. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everything seems to be up and up. You've had bankers tell you, Michael, that it would be very difficult to do this. How could it possibly happen? How could all this money go away without anybody noticing it whatsoever? Now, maybe they can't nail it down and prove it because, remember, in order to get a conviction, you got to be 100% sold that it happened. And if they're 50%, they're like, it might not be worth it. You at least have to admit the thing stinks to high heaven. And if you don't admit that, then you obviously are biased in favor of Ohtani.
Don, I will admit that when this story first broke, I was very skeptical. But when the Department of Justice comes out with a 40-page complaint that fully details what happens, I choose to believe them. And they say that he's a victim. And I don't know why the DOJ and Homeland Security and the IRS would be covering for someone who's not even
covering. It's do they have evidence that Ohtani was in on it? And if they don't,
no, they have evidence exonerating him. They have the exact opposite. And I don't know why.
Well, then I'm willing to say that he's a rube and he's totally innocent, and he should talk about what pitch he hit for a home run. That's all I'm saying. So I'll be out in LA this year for the Yankees Angels series. Anybody who wants to talk with me, I'll be there. Whatever, Dan.
Mike, and when you come out to Dodger Stadium next year, I would love to. Come. You're my favorite American League broadcaster. Like I said, I love the show.
Dan, this was a good conversation. You weren't rude. You laid out your points. I thought you laid out your points great. I'm glad that we could have this discussion. I don't want people in LA to hate me. I don't.
No.
I mean, my two co-hosts hate me. Why do I need people in LA to hate me?
How, again, just doesn't make sense.
It's unbelievable how sensitive people are. Like, look at this guy, Sean. I'm not a Dodger fan, but wow, the whole Michael K. Ohtani stuff is crazy. Guy doing backflips, hoping Ohtani is a criminal mastermind who could cover his tracks, but not smart enough to cover his translator's tracks, as if athlete celebrities haven't been ripped off before. I want Ohtani to be guilty? Why? Why would I want that? I
That's
love
the last
baseball.
thing you want, Michael. You know how important he is to baseball. And as a baseball fan, you should be rooting for everything to be okay. We're just honestly thinking this thing just doesn't make a lot of sense to us.
Well, New York Post has a pretty big story you guys should probably be paying attention to.
What is it?
The headline is Women's Butt Sizes Around the World Revealed. Which countries have the biggest and smallest?
Well, when we get back, you can tell us. I talk for a living.
To succeed in the markets is more difficult than the Olympics.
People play games like GameStop.
The goal is not your personal excitement.
Wall Street makes things very complicated, but it doesn't have to be that way.
People come to me all the time asking, what does the future hold? My answer often surprises them.
Hey. Hey. Rental?
Yep.
You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied.
Oh. Don't let a boxy suit ruin your night. Read from theblackducks.com.
Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest. Put it on the rest.
Never read a line of poetry, I'm not a poet, but I sit up in the back of my buttons cause I'm fresh. Never read a book on how to rip it, I just saw it, I don't need your explanation cause I'm better than the rest. Better than the rest. Better than the rest. Let me take you for a ride. I can make you feel alive.
Don't work for your money, let it work for you.
What money?
You're behind the student debt. Your budget is basic.
That was last call.
You're going to be lost, left behind. You buy low.
Payroll's late.
I've got 16 money apps.
I got a budgeting dashboard. Managers, don't avoid it.
Try this out. It's Albert. It's
got banking, savings, investing, and budgeting all in one place. It's simple.
Simple.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. For every pair of glasses or sunglasses sold, a pair of glasses is distributed to someone in need. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Fun. Right. So what's your system? What's that? Your system. What's your system? What is that?
Every bettor has a system. Make FanDuel's responsible gaming tools a key part of yours.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
From friends coming over to moms coming over. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
Chris here, back here for the Michael K. Show. Opening day in Cleveland being postponed is brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. The Yankees begin a 3-game set in Cleveland tomorrow now with tonight's postponement. It'll be a split doubleheader starting with the pregame show at 11:30 here on Yes. And the Bombers pitching staff will have to be careful with a couple of bats in Cleveland's lineup pictured here, both out to hot starts. Josh Naylor leads his team in extra base hits to start the season with 6, and Stephen Kwan is hitting .404 over his last 10 games. Cleveland and the Yankees are the top 2 teams in the major leagues right now, but we'll have to wait at least one more day for the first of 3 with tonight's washout. Our coverage for the split double dip tomorrow once again begins with the pregame show here on Yes at 11:30, followed by first pitch of Game 1 a little after noon. It's the Yankees in a 3-game set with Cleveland, opening up their home schedule for the season tomorrow with a split doubleheader. Coverage starting at 11:30 with the pregame show right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
According to Sam Blum, Ipe appeared in court today with shackles around his ankles. This is big-time stuff, people.
Yeah.
He's released on a $25,000 bond with conditions that include he cannot leave the Central District of California without permission, cannot contact Ohtani, and go to a mandatory gambler's addiction program. Talk about a guy who threw away a dream job.
Again, though, we still don't know so much. This story still doesn't make sense.
Well, Carla thinks it does now.
Well, he read it and he knows it all. But I maybe it'll be clear if I read the entire thing. But I still think this is wide open to what could have really happened.
Again, this is a legitimate question. I don't know the answer. Dan kept saying about he was fully exonerated by Homeland Security. Does that mean that fully exonerated, or we don't have enough here to believe that he's lying? The allegation is that Epi stole from him, right? That's the allegation.
Yeah, it looks like they have a lot of proof.
And they have a lot of proof that he stole from him. But does that mean Ohtani's fully exonerated, or that, hey, we've got enough here that he did steal from you, and we're going to prosecute him? So I don't know.
I think they have enough.
Yeah, so they have enough. But did they have enough to think that he was involved? Because maybe Ohtani was smart enough to not leave a paper trail by looking at the text messages.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, but the Department of Justice is supposedly pretty smart. They have no dog in the fight to protect Ohtani. Baseball does.
It's not.
But the Department of Justice doesn't.
But what are they reviewing? They're again. Correct me if I'm wrong. From what my understanding is.
But from what I understand is that Ohtani has given his phone too. So all communication between the two of them over the last 3 years has been reviewed.
Right. So. But their objective was to see if there's enough to go on that Ohtani was robbed.
Right.
So are they investigating whether Ohtani was in on it? Or are they just investigating?
Yeah, but if he was in on it, he wasn't robbed.
Right.
So they obviously think that he wasn't in on it.
So, just because there wasn't any text messages or emails, it's probably... I never believed he bet on baseball, Michael. I never believed that he bet on anything. But...
You just think that he might be protecting his guy?
I think he's protecting his friend. I mean, the same thing happened with Anderson with Barry Bonds, right? He actually went to jail for his buddy. It feels like this because how do you explain what I'd like to ask Dan if he was still on? Then how do you explain Ohtani's people letting him go, and then the first thing he says is that it was lent to me? How do you explain that? Or I guess he lied, but you're the one who sent him out there. Think he was going to say one thing and he said another. So all we're saying is not one person has ever accused Ohtani of anything. The thing just stinks and it doesn't make a lot of sense. We're not the only people who feel that way. Now, what's the extent of the involvement? I don't know. And if you're a baseball fan, you should be rooting for Ohtani to be fully exonerated because we want to watch this guy play. And the last thing baseball wants is a controversy. But when I asked Dan and he wouldn't give it, you got to at least admit the guy's a rube.
You know what's amazing to me is that, L.A. fans, Dodger fans don't show up at the ballpark till the third inning. They have enough energy to hate us for questioning this. It's unbelievable. The guy's been a Dodger for 6 weeks. It's unbelievable that he should speak every day like Aaron Judge and Francisco Lindor and Mike Trout do.
But
I'm a bad guy for thinking that.
But fans don't care about that, Michael.
But why would you rip someone? It's such an obvious point. I wish we had Manfred on the air. Why is he in every player contract? It says that you have to engage with the media. It's part of the rules of engagement.
Baseball is in a very precarious situation. They desperately need this guy. They need him.
But it's still odd they'd be so obvious with different rules for him. Like, you can be that blatant, though?
Listen,
he just doesn't talk?
Listen to our Trey Wingo. He's a man in love. So Justin Ray writes, Tiger Woods will make his 24th consecutive cut at the Masters. And then Trey,
already did.
He already made it. Trey goes, on one leg, basically held together with chicken wire and gum. Remarkable.
Hey, listen, that's his cross to bear.
No, it's not totally untrue.
But, he loves him some Tiger.
Yeah.
So do I.
But not to that. But even
not
Peter,
to that.
It does get a little awkward to some of these people, and I get it.
I wouldn't have tweeted that.
When you grow up with a team, and it's odd. That's why I never really got into individual sports, because I just can never give my heart to just one guy, one person, like a team, the history of the team. And listen, I had favorite players. I love Lawrence Taylor. I love Nolan Ryan. I love Doc Gooden. There was a lot of players I loved. But to be fully invested in the success and failure of an individual, not attached to a team, it's odd to me. Obviously, there's a lot of people that do it. But to be sick and in love with your favorite team, like you with the Commanders or me with the Giants or the Mets, but for an individual,
let's go to Jay and Diker. Jay.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my phone call.
You got it.
I usually. Thank you. Usually I don't agree with Mike, but that Bob interview was, wow, he really phoned it in. I don't know how you and Don and Peter are so off with this. This is crazy. You guys give great interviews, so it definitely wasn't you guys. It was, and Bob has a distinctive voice that when he talks, you know it's exactly Bob Fusion. But you couldn't even tell who it was. I was like, why is you on the phone with this person so long?
You thought it was a long caller. You thought it was a long, bad caller.
I thought it was a long call. I'm like, and then when I'm listening, I'm like, I wonder if Mike would ever just hang up, because I know Mike gets real mad real quick. It's like a snap of a finger, and I wonder if he, but Mike just says, all right, thanks, buddy, have a good one. I thought he was going to do it at the second, but I know you guys, are close with Bob and stuff. I just also wanted to make a comment about the Knicks. Don, it was so funny because I was thinking about this last night today, that people are going to say that the Celtics wasn't playing for it, but they was. That's why they put Kristaps in there. They put certain players in the beginning, because if they didn't, they would have probably got blown out by 50 by halftime. And you could tell the way the coach had his strategies. He was trying to hit him early, but the thing with the Knicks is if you could hit him in the mouth early, you might have a chance, but if not, by halftime, it's over. So I just want to give a shout-out to the Knicks. They've been really playing good, and I honestly think we could beat anybody, East or West. So I'm just happy and excited for that, and I'm just can't wait to see what they do in the playoffs.
Cool. Thank you,
Thanks
Jay.
for taking my call.
You got to have a great weekend.
Again, I don't want to sit there and argue with it. The score is the score, and the players played. I just think that if you think that's what you're going to get in a best-of-7 series, I think, especially in the NBA, guys, we see it all the time, where just some teams just don't have it. Like the Knicks beat the Nuggets up at the Garden, and I give them credit for that. Does that mean that they would beat them in the finals? According to that caller, yeah, I guess they can beat anybody. And I think in any given moment they can. But it's a lot to add to win 4 rounds. A team that hasn't been out of the second round going on 25 years, relying on really one player. You don't think in a best-of-7 series they can't devise a way to slow down Brunson in one game when it doesn't mean anything for the Celtics? We're going to judge that game on whether they can beat him in a best-of-7 in the conference final?
I believe that they were trying things out if they do face them.
Or were they not giving him a lot because they know they could face him? Right? I mean, I just know in sports, Mike, we've been following it a long time. When a team doesn't have anything to play for, going up against a team that plays, and you know how the Knicks play, they play every night like it's Game 7. That it's really difficult to say that that's how it's going to play itself out. Remember in 2013, Michael, the Knicks beat the Heat 3 out of 4 times in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And, they never got a chance to play the Heat because they were beaten by the Pacers. But was that going to translate into beating LeBron James in a best-of-7? There's a big difference between the regular season when a team's got everything clinched and another team's still playing for seeding and having to try to beat that team 4 times in a best-of-7 series. Can they? Of course they can, but I'm not going to relate it to what happened last night.
No. I think you just look at the whole body of work and say, hey, they're a spunky team. They could beat anybody. So, but I'm not basing it off last night. Peter, FanDuel, you got anything on that?
Yeah, no, I do, Michael.
Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
When I was really little, I don't know why, but I wanted to be a pastor. When I was like a small child,
I wanted to be a celebrity, like by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
These players, they're playing for a lot of money today.
I'm only here for a 2-peat. I don't really care about any other place.
My dad is a gamer.
My dad.
My brother.
My mom.
My grandmother.
My dad's a big gamer, still is. People will either like me or they will hate me, and I think that's fine. I'm okay with that.
I can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
New season, new reasons to say yes.
This is star power.
Wow. Cole dials it up. What a home run for Soto. Aaron Judge crushes one. Get all the Yankees action. The Yes app.
Listen up, Nets World. Get into the action and lock in a 2024-25 Nets level membership. Members have it all, from exclusive events and behind-the-scenes access to discounts across merch and tickets. Not to mention the ticket flexibility in the first place, with round-the-clock management and seamless transfer to your squad. This is Brooklyn, and it's yours. Become a member today.
It's going to feel like home. It's going to be electric.
This is the Yankees flexing their muscles.
I think he's just going to elevate everybody in that lineup.
He has the right demeanor to pitch in the Bronx.
When you play in New York, the expectation is to win a championship.
This is the Yankees being the Yankees.
Inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org.
My name is Sarah Tierney, and Tunnel to Towers Foundation purchased my daughter and I a mortgage-free home in honor of my fallen husband. I'm asking you to donate $11 a month so Tunnel to Towers can help other fallen first responder families like mine. Visit t2t.org or call 1-844-BRAVEST.
At Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, being the Northeast's best cancer center means being the best for you. Pairing the most advanced treatments with the most compassionate treatment. It takes looking at every cancer from every angle. And a care team that looks out for you and everyone you care for. It takes MSK.
When I hit 80, I needed help around the home. A friend of mine told me to call Freedom Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
Well, if you want my 2 cents on interest rates, we got options.
My 2 cents. This one's priced to sell. My 2 cents?
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 Here's my 2 cents on planning for the future. Interest plus interest equals more interest. Come on, you can drink that.
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
Let's look at your plan and see what makes sense for you.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where first-hand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to search the VHP collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
I have sickle cell. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime. I'm most grateful that people are willing to go out there and take their time, their blood, and give me new life.
What if you went to your secret hiding place and found this? All drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, know that you can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/know-the-risks.
Weekend for Doc. He's going to get his number retired Sunday. He's the point guard today. Wow. Mets announced Jose Dudo will start Sunday for them on Doc Gooden Day.
What do you think's a bigger deal for him? The point guard?
It's close. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if I have an answer.
You have to ask him, Peter.
Yeah, we'll have him on again.
You know, by the way, it was so nice that he brought that up. Like, Don, I think Michael was off. I think you remember the conversation we had with him last summer, where we really drove. Well, we've done this a couple times, though. I know one Michael was here for, too. We have sort of really driven that conversation of when will they retire their numbers.
You know what's shocking to me, though, guys?
What's that?
Greek just told me, our producer from Yes, Anthony Greek, that there are plenty of tickets available for Sunday. The Royals are good. The Royals are not a bad team.
Nobody cares about the Royals, Michael.
But do you care about Dwight Gooden?
Yeah, but unfortunately, you know, it's Sunday, so there's really no built-in excuse. I don't know why I'm not going. I mean, I got other things going on. Doesn't mean that I don't care. You know, it's a ceremony that it maybe doesn't resonate with enough people to want to be there. There's a whole generation that maybe doesn't remember Doc. Maybe it was a little too late.
Who knows?
I mean, if they did this when they should have, it's like 10, 15 years ago. You know, maybe it would be a little bit. The guy hasn't pitched for the Mets in God, how long now?
Since 94.
94, 30 years.
Well,
so you got a 30-year-old that doesn't even know Doc Gooden.
Paul O'Neill, it took them 20 years to retire his number, and it was sold out.
All right, so the Yankees are better than the Mets.
No,
but that's what you're getting at. So.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that why aren't Met fans selling out that game? They just had a great series against Atlanta. They won 2 out of 3. They had a great road trip.
I know, but ultimately, I think there's a lot of people that just don't believe in this team. They're going to play a wait-and-see attitude. I still think, going to a game is still about going to the game. Mets-Royals is not very sexy. It's April. It's cold. A lot of other things going on. And it's not resonating with people for whatever reason. But if this team, if they do it later in the year when they do Straw, and the team's good, and you've got a good team, who do the Yankees play that day? Yankees are always good, but who do they play when they play?
I don't think it was. I mean, if you smartly schedule a number retirement, you do it when a team's not good. That's coming in.
Now, I'm sure there'll be tickets. Now, you might wait and see what the weather's going to be like. There's probably going to be a good walk-up. I'm sure you're going to get a lot more people there for Mets-Royals than you would otherwise. I don't think, that the fact that they played in the World Series is going to get anybody to resonate. It's the Royals. But but you asked me, I'm not surprised it's not sold out. But I don't think it has anything to do with people not caring about Doc.
No, I don't think that's it either. Peter, are you handling Allen Iverson at all?
You want to talk about the trophy?
Yeah.
Sure, we can talk about the trophy. I don't have it. I don't have it listed for ENN. If you want to talk about it.
Well,
it was. I thought about it, but go ahead.
He got the Sixers said they were going to build a statue in front of their practice facility in Philly, and the unveiling was today. It's kind of the size of a toy soldier. Kind of weird.
Just the fact it's the practice facility. What does that tell you?
Yeah, but if you put it in front of Wells Fargo, that's the Flyers too. I mean, they're at the practice facility more than the game.
Yeah, but the fans aren't. You don't put who you put it up for, the players or for the fans. Fans don't go to the practice facility; they go to the games.
I mean, it's like a little tiny thing.
Oh my God!
But did you see them with? Did you see like the other ones that exist also that are similar?
Yeah, they're all small. Yeah.
They're all relatively small, but when you see it alone, it looks like. But it looks like his son. Don? It looks like a school for ants. But it's to reference Zoolander, if you will. It looks very small.
But honestly, who puts statues from the practice facility? Like, who goes to the practice facility? Well, the Flyers play there too, but you still have a statue of Bob Orr outside TD Garden, and the Celtics play there.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
The statues for Kobe and Shaq and all that are outside. What do they call it? Crypto.com arena or whatever, and the Clippers and the Kings play there. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just don't know why you would put a statue up at the practice facility. What fans would see it? Fans don't go to the practice facility.
There's times I love social media for the absurdity of it.
Okay.
So Andrew Hartz, right? And I just looked. He's got like 1,500 followers. He says he does a podcast. He just writes. He just writes to me. Doc Gooden ceremony Saturday, not Sunday. No, Andrew, it's Sunday. Why would you write something that's wrong like that and say it with such certitude? Doc Gooden Day is Sunday. I'm right about this, right?
I'm a little taken aback.
You upset?
Well, it's just like Lupica wrote a story for the news. Dwight Gooden deserves an amazing day with Mets on Sunday. And this guy just writes, it's Saturday. No, it's not. So I'd like to know, Andrew, call in. Tell us where you got this information that you felt that you should tweet it out and correct me when I'm wrong. It's hilarious. It's Saturday, not Sunday. No, it's Sunday.
Aren't both days Sundays?
What?
Doc Day and Daryl Day?
I don't know. Let me see when.
Don't they? Oh, Don, I feel like they're always Sunday.
Well,
days like this. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, Old Timers Day was Saturday a couple of years ago. I don't know. I don't know what decides when.
Here you go.
What do you got?
I got April 14th would be Doc. That would be Sunday.
Yeah. Sure. Yes, Andrew, that's Sunday.
And June 1st for Daryl.
So let's see when June 1st is.
I'm looking right now.
June 1st is a Saturday.
Oh, so maybe that's a confusion.
Yeah.
Steve Cohen tweeted it Sunday.
Yeah, Andrew, Steve, why don't you at Steve Cohen, the owner of the team? He said it's Sunday. You want to correct him, Andrew?
It's just odd that you would take that moment and the effort. Now, why they determine one over the other? Maybe it's just the fact that maybe Doc's got something going on Saturday.
Well, I think Bobblehead Day is Saturday, but Doc Gooden Day is Sunday.
But how they determine the day, because you would think, well, maybe because is Saturday's a night game? No, they're both at 1:40, so maybe it's just a matter of, what the family's doing. Are they around?
Although, I mean, the family has, if they had it on Saturday, they'd have to, make arrangements.
No, but I'm saying when they probably put together, what day works for you, right? I mean, maybe both work. I don't know. He said it's, so I really don't know what goes into it, Michael.
But Andrew says it's Saturday. So those that don't have tickets, I guess, according to Andrew, buy them for Saturday. You'll be surprised. Yeah. To hit a home run, everything needs to line up perfectly.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Flap it, turn it over. There we go.
This grandfather's breakthrough, teaching his granddaughter the art of making pizza, was made possible by another breakthrough. The discovery of a drug that uses a patient's own immune system to successfully treat lung cancer. That's the pioneering research of Yale Cancer Center, delivered through Smilo Cancer Hospital. Together,
cheers.
We're powering breakthroughs with the greatest of care.
Welcome to Win Reality. Experience unlimited at-bats from home any season, anytime. See game speed pitches from more than 600 pitchers. Get ready for game time with game simulations. Face your friends in live competitions. And train like the pros with expert drills and metrics to track your progress. So when your moment comes, you'll be ready. Win Reality. Baseball uncaged.
Welcome to Golden Nugget Online Casino. With all the slots and table games you love, feel like you're on the casino floor no matter where you are. So download the app, get started with this great offer, and have a great time in your downtime.
Pan pizza is Domino's best kept secret. It's handmade with fresh, never frozen dough, has 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust that's golden and crispy. Well, consider the secret out. Order your favorite pan pizza or try it today for the first time at Domino's.
We all want to feel safe when traveling. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious, such as an abandoned bag or erratic behavior from a passenger, just call 911. You can call anonymously, and it's okay if it turns out to be nothing. Work together with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to keep our transportation facilities safe. Visit PANYNJ.gov to learn more.
With Spectrum Mobile's Anytime upgrade, you get to upgrade your phone anytime you want for free, which means you get the best, latest and greatest, most up-to-date technology out there. So say you want a bigger screen, less screen, more storage, less storage. Doesn't matter. Any color. You can upgrade anytime. And who wouldn't want that? Except for Ryan. And that's a life choice. That's respect.
I gotta get back to this.
Yeah.
Don't wait to upgrade your phone. Get Anytime Upgrade, included with Unlimited Plus from Spectrum Mobile.
After months of hibernation, it's time to reemerge. Let spring inspire you to start fresh, too, behind the wheel of a new Ford SUV, featuring power that invigorates, capability to venture way off the grid, and tech that helps you forge a new path. It's a big world. Get out there and experience it. Now, returning lessees can get an Escape for just $199 a month for 24 months, only at your local Ford stores.
New season, new reasons to say yes.
Wow! Aaron Judge crushes one.
Get all the Yankees action on the Yes app. Download now.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions about your life, your career, and everything in between that we've uncovered. They're all centered on numbers. Some of the numbers might be familiar to you, but they all add up to tell your story. What do you want fans to think about when they see the number 23?
I wanted to be somebody different on the field, to be just known for baseball.
The Story of My Number, presented by the New York Lottery. New series premieres May 9th on Yes and the Yes app.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where firsthand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to Search the VHP Collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
Hey everyone, welcome to ENN. Ray Rowe
on Tiwi.
Brought to you tonight by Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisi.
Come get some.
Yeah.
I'd like to say good evening to myself and Michael. I'm pretty good with another language.
See.
That was good.
Good evening to Don and Michael.
Is that an opener, or is that someone that can give him length?
Oh, length like you wouldn't believe.
You might go as far as saying length Lagord. Let's say good evening to Don.
I just can never give my heart to just one guy.
See, that's something. You know,
that's what drops are about right there.
No, you know what? It's the essence of the drop. That's the essence of what the drop even is. I didn't even notice it, and then... All right, good evening to Don.
I'll pull the plug. If you're the elderly person, I'm pulling the plug.
Good evening to myself.
Inept. Rise up. Oh, my, what was that?
And Michael knew what it was, but he had to call attention.
I wanted to call attention to it.
And I was right there with him.
In all fairness, though, that wasn't even like I'm not paying attention. It was literally just on the way that an Apple keyboard works. They have like, you know, the buttons at the top of the screen are sort of like automated, and my finger just grazed.
So that's the time.
Yeah. How about the other 40 times a month?
No, I didn't know. Well, I didn't. That's the first time I've ever accidentally played music.
That's not
I've
true.
never played.
That's not true.
Randomly played a big pun in the middle of the show
big
for
pun,
no
but
reason.
you played music inadvertently. Because you got a lot of things going on Rosenberg Incorporated. I understand it.
Let me. You know what? Let me say good evening to myself, just so people click on your little video. And good evening to Michael and Bob Wischusen.
Why did the Islanders take until the end of the season to play their best hockey? Last year they did it. This year they're doing it again.
I don't know.
All right, good stuff. Bob,
good stuff, Bob.
Moving right along. Now, the question with that moment is, was he going to do, was there going to be a follow-up 2 seconds later, or was that the answer?
As Don would scream, that's the answer.
Here's the issue with Bob today. There was a little bit of it almost felt like he was on delay, because I think that was funny. We laughed, and he was about to answer. Then Peter jumped in with what he said. It seemed like he was about to answer with something like witty or funny, but it took too long, and we would end up jumping in thinking he was done. So there was that awkwardness.
I want to have somebody support me the way Don supports everybody else but me.
Didn't I just have your back with the Peter incident? You don't even pay attention to those things.
I heard it. That's a pity one.
Which Peter incident?
When I said what about the other 40 times that you make a sound? And Michael and I both jumped you. We tag teamed you.
Ganged up on you. You jumped up on. You jumped up.
But he said that's for pity.
No,
I've said this over and over. I'll take it to my grave. I take them as they come. If I want to support Michael, then I think he deserves support. I'll support. If not, that's just honesty. But I think Michael wants some sort of a structure in which he's a deity, and we worship at the altar of Michael and agree with everything that he says. And when we disagree, we're disrespecting him. And that's not how I play it. And I don't think you do either, Peter.
Hey,
what happened to that?
Did we congratulate Don? He won the GOAT contest yesterday?
Yes. That was very nice. I was very proud.
He beat out,
Tom
Don, real
Brady.
quick, tell us, who did you beat along the way on your way to a championship?
Round one, I beat Madonna. Then in the round of 32, I beat Joey Chestnut. In the Sweet 16, I beat Michael Jackson.
Wow. In
the Elite 8, I beat, or I'm missing somebody. I beat Tom Brady, and then I beat Michael. So Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, not Michael K.
Hell of a run.
Gretzky. No, Gretzky in the Elite 8.
Don't forget Gretzky.
Beat Brady in the Final Four, and then I beat Michael Jordan in a very, very close race. That had over 2,000 votes. So I'm very humbled that the listeners like me.
Did you hear that? That was Don. You hear it? Listen.
I don't get it.
He's a GOAT.
Oh.
I thought you didn't get why people voted for me.
No. You know how I feel about you. It's just you're not greater than. Well, you're not greater than Michael Jordan.
I do believe in the last two rounds, it was the New York bias. New York doesn't love Tom Brady or Michael Jordan. So I think I was helped by that.
Oh, and then what's the explanation for Gretzky, Michael Jackson, and Madonna?
Because I think the listeners legitimately believe I'm better than them.
Wow. The one legitimate win you had was over Chestnut. That's about it.
That's your opinion.
Although it's really not. Michael, is that a legitimate win? I mean, Chestnut is absolutely hands down number one all time. Kobayashi doesn't even, all due respect to the great Kobayashi or the Black Widow, they're not in the conversation with Joey Chestnut. That man, no one more easily slides elongated beef down their gullet the way Joey Chestnut does.
But I look down upon that as a skill. What Don does, it's very hard to be as good a host as Don is.
That's not really what the argument is.
So if somebody makes great French toast, like it's a person that made is the best at French toast making in the world, Don should beat them because that's not that big of an accomplishment.
How could you hold on? With all due respect to what we do, all we do is run our yappers.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a skill to it. There's an art to it.
But you
don't think there's a skill and an art to what Joey Chestnut does?
I think it's more of the way his body is built.
No, you have to train immensely to get there.
But I think we're missing, like when Peter was in, it wasn't Peter Rosenberg, it was Peter Rosenberg's reads for better health. And mine was Don LaGreca's rants. So my rants up against Joey Chestnut eating hot dogs.
Man, I think that's easy win.
And I think to our listeners, my rants resonate a little more than somebody pounding hot dogs.
No, but the second best ranter in sports radio is closer to Don than the second best hot dog eater is close to Joey Chestnut. But he's beating people guys by 25, 30 dogs a year. It's not even close what he's doing.
But I think what they're saying is that people don't respect that skill.
But that's
now, clearly Michael Jackson is amazing, but maybe people aren't Michael Jackson fans.
I'm just trying to be true to what the tournament's supposed to be.
I don't know what it's all supposed to try to get attention to the shows that have them. So I think it accomplished that because I think Larry and Gordon do a tremendous job.
I'm just trying to be. To me, I care about the integrity of the tournament, Don. That's what I care about. If you beat Michael Jordan, I just want it to be done.
Well, who did you beat? You made it out of the first round. Who did you beat?
No, I don't think I did. I lost narrowly to who? Michael Jordan? Was that who I lost
Jay-Z.
to? I lost narrowly to Jay-Z.
Narrowly. Now, no offense, but you should have been pulverized. Right?
Well, I mean, the one who should be insulted is me. I didn't get. I wasn't even in the tournament.
I don't know. You'd have to take.
So there's nothing that I'm good at.
Nothing that you're good at, according to this thing.
Oh, I don't know how they came up with me and Peter's, better health.
No, but now I know how I could tell how Gordon and Larry feel about me. They don't think I'm good at anything.
And not very strong.
Right. I'm good.
I can't honestly disagree with you, Michael. I mean, the evidence presented. I'll be like, what was it, Dan in Pasadena? Where was he from in California?
It was Pasadena. Very good memory.
Dan in Pasadena, just like, listen, the evidence clearly shows, maybe it wasn't a 40-page document, but in the evidence that's been presented, I think it's fair to say that Larry and Gordon have really no use for Michael.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little NBA, shall we?
Why not?
Finally, the NBA on TNT giving the Knicks a little bit of respect.
Yeah,
Let's hear Kenny Smith talking about Jalen Brunson.
The New York Knicks are the most surprised team to me in basketball right now. They should be a number 6 seed without Julius Randle. Brunson has been the best basketball player in the Eastern Conference by far.
Now, Charles, what does Charles have to say about how the Knicks would do in a series with the Pacers?
Pacers, they'll beat the Knicks if they play in the playoffs. They're both 3-6. The two teams that intrigue me the most going into the playoffs after the trade deadline, Pacers and the Mavs.
Are you saying that with certainty?
I think the Pacers beat the Knicks.
I agree with you, Chuck.
Oh boy, no one respecting this team.
Now there's a couple of things at play here. All right, if you don't think the Pacers, the Knicks can beat the Pacers, all right, that's one opinion.
That's your choice.
But the two teams that intrigue you post-deadline, the Knicks aren't one of them? With the deal they made for OG and how they played once they acquired him?
But remember, they did the OG deal way before the deadline.
Oh, that's
semantics. So that's the semantics there. And since the deadline, the Knicks haven't played that great because they didn't have Julius and they didn't have OG.
I think if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm loving this. Disrespect my team. Give them no credit. Let them go in with nobody believing. Doesn't that work better in that room than everybody picking them?
Yes. This is definitely. Who would you rather, in terms of the expectation and the position you're in going into the playoffs? I would much rather be the Knicks than the Celtics right now. Celtics had
what?
No, well, see, Don, he doesn't listen.
No, I did listen. I want you to repeat it.
Okay, well. Hold on.
Well, for effect.
If you listened, okay, you know what, for effect. All right. In terms of the way they're being viewed and expectation, I would much rather be the Knicks than the Celtics right now.
Well, don't you want to be the person with the crown at the top of the mountain? I want to be only when people knock me over.
Only when it's over.
Nah, I'd rather be the Celtics.
I don't need to have a whole conference gunning for me and every prognosticator saying you better win the championship.
But balancing it out is the fact that you're clearly the best team. So I think anybody would take that aspect over the perception from the media.
Well, I mean, I didn't know we were being forced
to choose. Let's be honest. We watch the Knicks every day, so we've elevated them. But I'm sure there's passion in Philly and Miami and Orlando and Indiana and Cleveland for their teams making a run too.
I'm just telling you right now, as a Celtics fan,
yes,
I have a lot of dread heading into the playoffs. I don't have a lot of excitement. I have a lot of like, all right, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, well, he may say it, but if they win the championship, Tatum can't say, nobody believed in us. We shocked the world. That's not going to work out. Everybody else, even Milwaukee at this point. I mean, do you even view Milwaukee as a champion recently, or as an elite team when they've played under 500 since Doc took over?
No, exactly. Even they can give a little story of how they're dogs. But like the Celtics, they have no story except we are the dominant team in the NBA. And if we don't get it this year, are we ever going to get it? If the Celtics don't get it, even though they just gave Brown the big contract, is the contract going to be a conversation going to be again? Oh, well, they got to move him. Well, everything starts to get questioned if you're the Celtics and don't win a championship. And Don, it's been for like 15 years.
I know. 2008.
It's been more. It's been a long time. And so like it's go time for this team.
And the only team that I think has the combination of skill, seeding, and no expectations, Minnesota. I don't know if anybody really believes Minnesota's winning a championship. Not with Denver sitting there. So that's a nice combination to have where they're legitimately good, and I don't know how many people really believe they can win a championship. Maybe make a run because the conference is open. But let the Knicks fly under the radar. Let them be disrespected. That works great.
All right, so we mentioned this earlier, but Ipe Mizuhara, the interpreter for Shohei Ohtani, is currently in custody.
Like shackles, right?
Yeah, federal custody after surrendering to law enforcement. He's accused of stealing more than $16 million over 2 years from Shohei Ohtani to pay gambling debts to an illegal sports book.
Again, I don't feel remotely bad for him, but does he need to be shackled? Like, is there danger he's going to run?
It's weird. His legs were shackled, yeah.
But, right, I mean, isn't that reserved for people that are, like, legitimately, like, dangerous?
You know what? That does start feeding. Yeah, that starts feeding the conspiracy theory about like there's something being done here to protect Shohei Ohtani.
Like a little over the top.
Let's make Ohtani look even better and more innocent by making the guy who we're saying did it. Let's make him look like Hannibal Lecter.
He didn't steal. He didn't steal this money at gunpoint.
Looks more and more innocent.
I'll tell you one thing though. If you look at Ipe, he's the least threatening person visually that you could even think of.
So yeah,
I mean, he and the owner of the Raiders probably get their hair cut in the same place.
Oh, good call. Their barber is blind.
Kentucky has selected a head coach.
And White Smoke came out to actually announce it.
Get it? See what he did there, Peter?
White Smoke?
Yeah.
Pope?
Read the name.
Mark Pope.
Yes. When they choose
a pope, White Smoke comes out of the Vatican.
Why would he know that?
Well, why does anybody know anything? What are you, Catholic to know that?
I don't think Peter pays attention to the Pope.
No, it's not that I don't pay attention, Anthony. I'm aware of the Pope. I remember when he came to New York, and it was like, I've never watched what's it called, an anointment? What do they call when the Pope gets poped?
I don't even know that, but I know about the smoke.
Everybody knows about the smoke.
I don't know the smoke.
Oh.
But that's always referenced. Like whenever there's it takes a long time to make a decision.
Who is it? The Pope?
What color is the smoke? There's a white smoke. I'm a little surprised, Peter.
Every time I think that Peter's really smart, something like this says, you know what, he's not.
I didn't know the reference.
I just
of white
like Anthony's in my ear. Like, why would he know that? I understand you're not Catholic, but I don't think you have to be Catholic to know that.
Don's not Jewish. He knows about circumcision.
Yeah, I know about the menorah.
All due respect to the Pope, the White Smoke is not on the level of the circumcision.
It might
the circumcision is. I don't know. The circumcision's very big out here.
Oh, Greek just had the greatest line ever, Don.
What is it?
He said the only smoke Peter knows comes out of a vape pen.
Oh, wow.
You know what? Well, you know what, Greek? Bad job by you, because that's not smoke.
I know.
That's vapor.
Oh, it's vapor. Oh, sorry.
The only smoke that I know is the smoke before a lot of smoke at the Bad Bunny concert.
Yeah.
He was very
that a
big.
blunt?
Very big on the smoke.
I'm legitimate. Honestly, Peter, this is all due respect.
It's disappointing.
Tell me the context.
I'm shocked you didn't know that.
When does the white smoke appear?
Right,
I don't even know when that
all
would be.
the cardinals are meeting, and they're choosing who the pope is. And this could go on for days. And when they finally choose a pope, they release white smoke through the chimney of the Vatican.
Right.
which means, they've chosen a pope, and they will come out and they will announce it shortly. Did you go to school?
Well, no, that wasn't in school. That's not.
That wasn't. I didn't learn that in school. Just existing.
Michael just throws out things that were in school.
You know what? Let me take that back. I apologize. Are you alive?
I went to Catholic school.
How many popes have been named?
There's a lot of popes lately. A lot of them have been dropping dead. There's a lot of popes in your lifetime, in your adult lifetime.
I just thought that'd be something you'd know, Peter. I'll let you up, but just
Can someone out there tell me they didn't know about the white smoke?
No. I'm not talking about other people. I don't care about other people. I care about you. I'm just saying that knowing you and knowing like the things that you kind of know and understand, I was genuinely surprised you didn't know that.
BK Style on Twitter goes, I'm not Catholic, and I know about the white smoke. Everybody does.
I mean, now that we've said it 50 times, it sounds familiar.
Something's jarring.
All right, so you know what? I took you off your story. Tell me about Mark Pope.
I don't even care anymore. This was so much better.
Yeah, now I'm upset. But Mark Pope is the new head coach of Kentucky. By the way, he probably also knows nothing about the white smoke because he came from BYU.
And he was on the 96 team, right?
He was a captain of the 96 Kentucky championship team.
Well, there you go. That helps.
You kidding me? So, obviously, there were a lot of high-profile candidates who did not appear to be interested. Pope will replace John Calipari, who left this week for Arkansas. Name one previous Arkansas coach not named Nolan Richardson.
That's you just took us out on our knees. How will we know any other one?
Well, isn't it?
It made it multiple choice.
I got to tell you, Don, I'm a big fan of my Razorbacks. Can't wait to get Cal. Come in, Coach Cal. They are, by the way, they are going to be close.
No, they'll do well.
Who, Coach Cal and Bill Clinton?
Oh, I don't know about their. I'm saying Arkansas is going to do well, but Nolan Richardson had a nice run there.
Sure did. I love that team. Oliver Miller. That was a fun Razorback team.
Eric Musselman was the coach before, and he got the USC job because Andy Enfield left to get the SMU job.
Kyle Filipowski's going pro. He led the Blue Devils in being a D-nozzle and also with 16 points and 8 rebounds per game.
Klingons is going pro, too. UConn sophomore.
That's right. So is Jared McCain. By the way, if you're wondering who these people are, they're all college basketball players not named Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese.
Yeah.
They're the other guys this year. Anthony Davis, feeling good about the Lakers, says they're in a just-win mindset. Guys, we are staring the possibility of a nice Lakers-Warriors showdown potentially in the playing game. That would be fun. Now, this is a piece of audio I wanted to play you guys because it made me sick to my stomach. Ronda Rousey was on with Steve-O, the great journalist, Edward R. Murrow of our times, Steve-O from Jackass, where she talked about Logan Paul's success in WWE.
Wish that I was allowed the time to rehearse that he gets because it's not evenly spread. You know what I mean? Like some people get it. Oh, like he's like their next big star. You know, they're rolling out the red carpet, which is like it goes to show that if you give people the time to rehearse and the resources, you can like do amazing things. You know, and it's frustrating that like everybody doesn't get that treatment.
All right, that's
because
enough.
like
I don't even need
my
to hear the whole
first
thing.
match was.
Guys,
do you don't think the WWE wanted Ronda Rousey to succeed?
Hold on, Michael. Thank you for the fact that she used the phrase "roll out the red carpet" and they really want him to be the next big thing. Ronda Rousey got the single biggest rollout I've ever seen. She got Rowdy Roddy Piper's nickname. Like she literally got, and his colors and his scheme and she got everything. She beat everyone. She was. Listen, I don't know about her personal issues with the company. I won't pretend to know anything about it. I don't. And in the times that I interacted with her in a limited way, she was always friendly. But she has recently been going on a Burn the Bridges tour, and to act as if Logan Paul is getting lots of opportunities and help that she didn't get. Come back to me, Rhonda. I mean, she got everything, at least from the fans' perspective. In fact, it was almost too much.
So you're saying, help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
Oh, beautifully done. That'll do it for ENN. That one I know. I don't know Pope Smoke. I know Help Me, Rhonda.
Pope Smoke. It's on Peter's new album.
Brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Dodge Power Shot Days Jeep Celebration event and Ram Truck Month.
Fritz Peterson dies at the age of 82. One of the more famous off-the-field things with the Yankees ever. He and Mike Kekich switched families and wives. Unbelievable.
Oh, that story's unreal.
To this day, that would be, if somebody did that today, it would be outrageous. With the Kardashians, that would still be outrageous. So rest in peace.
Unreal story.
All right. Hope you all have a great weekend. A lot of stuff going on. We'll see you again Monday at 3. And now it's time for Daniel Craig to take us out.
That's a wrap on the show for today and this week. For all of us here on the Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you Monday at 3 o'clock. K Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
With features you won't find on Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, or Subaru Forester, the Hyundai Tucson puts the other guys in their place. Namely, the rearview mirror. Only a Tucson compares to a Tucson. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 3.79% APR, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end soon.
For years, one company has battled to deliver business products the next day with no freight charges. Now, WB Mason, with their famous fleet of trucks and drivers, faces their biggest challenge, rescuing shipping and packaging buyers from expensive freight charges. That's right. Now, boxes, stretch film, and packaging tape are delivered the very next day at amazingly low prices. So, who do you call for fast delivery and no expensive freight charges? Who but WB Mason?
We're dogs out here. There was barking in the dugout.
Half of young adults are at risk of hearing damage from loud sounds. So why is this happening? We know not to bake in the sun for hours and to get our eyes checked regularly. We buckle up to save lives. And we know that smoking kills. So do poor diet choices and poor life choices. But why are we so reckless with our hearing? We take hearing for granted. Hearing damage from loud sounds is permanent, but preventable. We take common sense steps for our health every day.